So in this video we're gonna recreate characters from the video game series Fallout in LEGO. Let's go! Fallout takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where the nuclear bombs dropped after World War II and people went down underground hiding. I made a whole video where I built a Fallout bunker, but now I'm actually gonna build a lot of Fallout characters. So let's start with the Vault Dwellers, the people who live underground. These are the people who went underground to survive the nuclear blast, to live the rest of their lives in a vault. They have to put on these blue vault suits and just accept the world underground. It doesn't sound like the best way to spend your time. Luckily for me, I found a perfect way to build Vault Dwellers. And it's really simple. All you need are some blue torsos and blue legs, and then you just add these cool Batman utility belts, and you got, well, very decent looking vault suits. I also made some variants on these Vault Dwellers because not everybody's gonna want to wear the full suit all the time. A few of these torsos are actually stickers that I put on myself. They're not perfect, but they do the job. However, I didn't want to do stickers for all the figures. It would have taken a lot of time. So now we have our Vault Dwellers who are gonna live happily ever after in this bunker underground. In the vault we need people to protect them. So let's build some Vault Tech security. These people are basically just the police down in the vault, and they're gonna take care of the other people and protect them. And here we go. Here we have the Vault Overseer, and we have his Vault Tech security guards. These guards turn out better than I could hope for, because they're very accurate to the source material, and I'm very happy with them. This is the Overseer, and he's the boss of the vault. He's just a happy guy, he just takes care of his vault until you actually do upset him. Then you're gonna be in some real trouble. This is the real reason why we need security down in the vault. I do think the security could prioritize some different threats, like raiders from above ground. Yeah, they're a big problem, and they're a big part of Fallout as well. Raiders are people who live above ground and rob and steal and just take whatever they want. So let's build a few raiders. These ended up great. Turns out LEGO actually has a lot of useful parts for building raiders. Here we have them. The raiders who are terrorizing the post-apocalyptic world that is Fallout. I managed to build a wide variety of different kinds of raiders, and I'm very happy with the results. They really look like they're trying their best to just live outside in a post-apocalyptic world. However, raiders are not nice people. Here they've trapped a few settlers. I'm just quickly gonna show you how I made this flamethrower for this character with the welding mask. He's a nasty looking raider, and I wanted to show you what parts I actually used for the flamethrower. Step 1, you just add a clip to this gun piece, then you add this telescope bar, then you add this claw hand, and then you add the flame on an angle. Next part, you grab this hose, and then you grab this tap, a regular red round brick, and a round tile. Connect that to a 2x2 plate and a 2x2 round tile. There you go. You got the gas tank and you got the hose going to the flamethrower. You got a cool weapon. As you can tell, I actually did some custom work on these figures. I painted them and I modified a bit. I cut this tire open and glued it to the torso just to make that cool raider armor. You don't have to do this, but I wanted to try it.
I've had word from a settlement that needs help.
One of the biggest threats in the Fallout games are super mutants. They're super huge, they're green, they look like Shrek, and they're dangerous. These are basically humans that mutated from a virus, and they ended up being some kind of mutants wandering around the wasteland trying to eat people and capture people. They're actually kind of dumb.
What? This is boring. We should be collecting more humans. We need more of us.
I grabbed a box of collectible minifigures that I had left because I think I have the perfect figure for super mutants. Let's give them a few weapons, and I think we're done.
Shut up! You stupid!
These figures were by far the easiest to build, but the problem is that the size is not accurate. However, they look really good. I think they actually look like super mutants. All you need is to grab this CMF figure, which is an orc, and then you have to remove the hair and the jaw piece, and then you got the figure done. I mentioned settlers before, and they are the people who actually live above ground and don't commit acts of heinous crime. They're just regular people who survived the blast and are just getting by on a day-to-day basis. The nice thing about settlers is that they can look however they want. They're just people who survived. So I grabbed a lot of torsos from Lego Harry Potter, I grabbed a lot from Jurassic Park, Everything that looks a bit rugged and torn down works perfect to make settlers. Here we have a few variations. This guy is surviving the cold with his weapon, this guy is in the city with his baseball bat and his eye patch, and these are just junkies outside doing hardcore drugs, trying to not freeze to death. Yeah, this world is a bit sad. Here we have two other cool settlers, and this is a fan favorite. This is Nick Valentine, and he's a detective robot.
Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't comforting, but it's not important right now.
Another big part of Fallout is power armor. Power armor is basically your own personal walking tank. It's this big metal armor that you can step into and protect yourself from everything. So let's build one in Lego. I really wanted this to be bigger than a minifigure, so I had to brick build it. This one turned out very accurate. I'm happy with the results, and it actually looks like a power armor. The problem is that I didn't manage to build a helmet, and I think I know how to get one. I got a lot of suggestions to use the Shadow Trooper helmet, but unfortunately I didn't have one, so maybe next time. If you want to build this yourself, I highly recommend using a Shadow Trooper helmet.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Robots are a big part of Fallout, and robot butlers, I think they're hilarious, and they're British, they're just awesome. These robots are called a Mr. Handy. And I built a few in my last video where I built the Fallout bunker, but now I want to build a few variations, so let's build some more of them. Here we have the standard Mr. Handy, which is just simple gray, but I think it looks very good and it looks accurate to the original. Here are a few variations. I made one in white, and I made Mr. Charlie, who's a bartender. I think he is just a great character, and I really wanted to make him as well.
Boy, we got beer. You ain't buying beer, you ain't buying.
In the last video, we blew up the Lego City with a nuke, so today I'm gonna build a Lego bunker to protect the people of Lego City from the nuclear waste above ground. Grab your hazmat suits, and let's begin. First up, we need to create the wasteland, and it's an empty and desolate place, so let's make it feel like it. The wasteland. A place with endless possibilities. Ish. It's also quite a dangerous place, filled with dangers lurking behind every corner, so maybe we need somewhere safe. Maybe we need a bunker. This video is heavily inspired by the game series Fallout. If you hadn't noticed already, I'm a huge fan of Fallout, so this video is gonna take a lot of inspiration from it. Everything from the Fallout games to the mobile game Fallout Shelter. This video is not sponsored, but as I mentioned, heavily inspired. Let's move on. So the idea is to build some kind of bunker, very inspired by Fallout Shelter. The structure of every room has its own theme and its own purpose. We also have the elevators on the side. So here we basically have a rough sketch of what I want to do. Let's start by building the entrance. I modified the wasteland part a bit to make it fit on top of the bunker, so it's actually a part of the bunker. So this is what we ended up with. I think it's time we start building that bunker now. This is the absolute first floor on the bunker, so this will be above ground, and then we will build downwards. We have the wasteland, and then we have the very nice entrance to the bunker. I think this girl has had enough of living outside in the nuclear radiation, and she really wants to get inside that bunker, but I think the waiting list is way too long. Great, we have the entrance, now we just have to build somewhere to live and somewhere to eat. So let's build a diner. Before we even start building the diner, I think we need some people that actually lives in the bunker. So let's build a whole bunch of survivors that survived the nuclear blast. Here we have some regular people that just lives in the bunker. And here we have the staff. We have the kitchen staff and we have some janitors, everything. We ended up with a whole bunch of people, and I think this is enough to populate the bunker. So let's start building that diner, huh? The Fallout games are set in a very weird time period because it's actually after the Second World War, but it's also in the future. So the aesthetic is kind of like the 50s and the 40s. So that's what we're going for right here. I'm building a kitchen area that looks like a diner from the 50s. Man, am I happy with this. It really turned out great. It really got that vibe that I wanted. So here it is. Let's take a look at it. We got our main chef preparing a nice dinner course for the guests. He's hacking up some chicken. My man is using the best known ingredient to man, baked beans. Over here we also have a coffee machine for those hard-working people in the bunker. This girl is working as a waitress, so she's delivering the food to the guests. I hope she gets paid enough. Apparently some people get really hungry. He's even trying to eat a hot dog with a spoon. What's bro thinking? I think we really managed to capture that vibe that I wanted. Let's move on. Let's build a freezer, a walk-in freezer for the kitchen area. We need somewhere to store all that food. But it looks like the freezer has some kind of infestation. Our tiny chef is raiding the freezer.
Oh my god! Ratatouille!
Huh?
The idea is to be able to put all of these together and stack them on top of each other. And I think this kitchen area turned out great. We got the freezer, we got the diner, everything looks great together. I want to know what they're hiding in there. It looks like something is in the freezer room. Oh, alright. Well, everybody's got their own secret. I guess they're running out of protein. Hey!
Hey!
They need somewhere to sleep. Let's build a living room, a living space, a living quarters where everybody can sleep and just stash their own stuff to feel at home. Let's add some bunk beds and a closet. Let's also add some people that live there. I think this became a wholesome room. I would like to stay there for maybe one night, but not longer than that. It's still in a bunker, underground. But it looks a bit cozy. Here they can start new families, they can watch some TV, play some music, just draw a bit and enjoy life, underground. I think this guy is a bit tired of the color blue though. And someone is really waiting for Christmas to come around. Now that we have several floors, I think we need some way to get from one floor to another. Let's build some elevators. When it comes to elevators, I take a lot of inspiration from Fallout Shelter, the mobile game, because they got elevators on the side and it's a very clear overview on where you got elevators and where you can travel between floors. So here's what we got. We got this nice door and then we got this elevator shaft. It's pretty simple. Let's build another one. This one is under construction, so they're doing some maintenance work on it and trying to repair it. I added these blue and purple spark elements and I think it turned out great. It really looks like he's welding something onto the wall. Let's take a look at how they stack. It looks perfect. Let's put it all together. Next up on the sketch we have floor 3, which contains a med bay, a science lab and some bathrooms. The wasteland above ground is still a very dangerous place.
Mamma mia!
So I think we need somewhere for the people to go when they get hurt. Or in this case, when you get a deadly dose of radiation damage. I'm of course talking about a med bay, a hospital, somewhere to get healed up and clean your wounds. This place is really important to the bunker because you need to keep the people of the bunker happy and healthy. This was a really fun part to build because I got to be creative with the cabinets and all of the medical equipment, so I'm very happy with this one. Hopefully my boy can get some medical help now and remove that radiation, so he doesn't grow an extra limb. I don't know how much I trust this doctor, however, because she's got a saw. I hope he doesn't have to remove the arm. We have a med bay for the people of the bunker, but now I think we need some bathrooms, because everybody has needs, right? Over here we have the bathroom, and I think the janitor who's cleaning the place is actually on the toilet right now. He doesn't notice the highly irradiated zombie walking towards him. I really hope he makes it, because he has a lot more cleaning to do. On this floor we need something more. I think we need a science lab. Somewhere where they can do research on all of the radiation out in the wasteland and also the glowing zombies that seems to be appearing in the bunker. I want this to be a clean environment with a fresh look. It needs to be white, it needs to be sterile, it has to have a science lab look. I really think I managed to capture that look by creating these cabinets with the white and the tan counters. I really nailed that hospital lab, science lab look. One thing I wanted to do here was to create a tank where they experiment on a zombie, but I want it to be glowing. I want it to be green, a green light, so I added some lights to it. I found some affordable brick-compatible lights that I could just connect to my Lego bricks and then connect it to a battery pack to light up my scene. Now this looks like a shady place. Some weird science experiments is going on here. I'm happy with it, and we managed to get that glow from the tank with the zombie in it that I was talking about. Ah, ouch. It seems like they're also experimenting on animals. Looks like this guy just found out about some pretty bad news or some weird stuff. Hopefully, they will come to some good conclusions. I thought to myself, what more rooms do we need? And obviously we need somewhere where they grow their own food. So let's build some kind of farming room where they have artificial lights and just make their own food. If you've ever played Fallout, there's a high chance you've seen one of these guys. These are called Mr. Handy robots, and I really wanted to include one in this build, so I decided to design my own.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
These are essentially robot butlers that's just here to help out and help the people who live in the bunker. So let's add this guy into the farm and finish up this build. This robot is doing what he's doing best. He's doing some farming and helping out in the bunker. Seems like they're doing some research as well. These people seem like they really love what they're doing. And I guess I would too. I would prefer this job over any other job in the bunker. How about you? I feel like we're missing a very important part of a bunker. I think we need some power. That's right, we need some power. So let's build a generator room, somewhere where they can generate power to light up the whole bunker. For this part, I really wanted to have that industrial feel, so I just went all out with the gray. Nice, this place looks completely safe and legit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get near those sparks, maybe. It looks like these people are doing a great job keeping the power alive in the bunker. Now it's time for me to do my part and install all of the lights. And this is not something I've been looking forward to. After a few hours of just trying to figure out how power cords actually work and work with these tiny connectors, I managed to light up the bunker. Take a look at this. Alright, so obviously I need to install more lights, but I'm very happy overall. This bunker turned out great. Maybe I'll do another video on it and install more lights and build even more rooms. Like the video and let me know what you think, and maybe we'll expand the bunker even more. What would happen if zombies attacked Lego City? In the last video, we actually found out. The president wanted to nuke the city, so we had to build a bunker for the people of Lego City. Now they're completely safe underground. However, today I want to double it and give it to the next person.
Do you want one hot dog or should I double it and give it to the next person? Give it to the next person. You want 64 hot dogs or shit?
At the end of the video, we're gonna end up with this huge bunker. It's bigger than anything I've ever built before. Let's start off by going through some of your comments, because you suggested a lot of good rooms that I actually missed in the first video.
Oh my god!
Let's start by adding those connectors so we can connect it to the rest of the bunker. Let's add a blue wall, and I want this to have some maps on it. I want this to be an educational place. Let's also add the teacher's desk. Let's add some kids and the chairs and the wooden desk, and then we have the teacher. I think this kid did something wrong because he's running around with that slingshot, and I think he actually shot something at the teacher. Now that's a bad kid. Let's also add a bookshelf and some good reading material. Man, I hope these kids can learn something down in this bunker. This turned out really good. I really like the teacher, I'm happy with him, he has his tie on, and the kids, I mean, they're studying, they're doing their best, but not all kids are gonna be good. So this guy with the slingshot, yeah, he's getting detention for sure. This girl is reading up on her science, and she's keeping an eye out for bad eggs. These kids are the future of the bunker, so hopefully they'll get some things right at least. Maybe they'll ace the math test. Hopefully. We built this living room with beds last time, but it's a bit cramped, and I think it's not enough for all of the new people moving into the vault. Hey! Let's make this the upgraded living space. So we have a nice rug, we have a bit comfier furniture, and we got some nice designs here. A bit luxurious, if you will. Doesn't that look nice? It looks a lot better than the first sleeping area. We got some nice comfy looking beds. We even got some toys, we got this cool statue, and we even have our own jukebox. And these people are just going at it, loving that music. Really loving that music. This guy is studying up on the next exam, and she's just taking care of the plants. Here we have the crazy cat lady of the bunker. Well, she loves her cats, what else can I say? We've got somewhere they can live, but it doesn't feel safe. Not at all, actually. There are a lot of things out in the wasteland that can kill you. Mainly zombies, but there's other stuff too.
What are you looking at?
And they have actually gotten into the bunker, so here is a radiated zombie down in nuclear waste. I think there's some more in the bunker, but this is by far the worst thing yet. There seems to be a problem with the tunnels under the bunker. I guess someone forgot to close a water valve. So now the basement floor has started to flood. That's not good at all. Let's finish that wall. Let's make it tan. I want to add these cool doors that I've been working on. And let's make it out of order. And also add a green line at the top. That's a death claw, one of the mutated creatures from the wasteland, taken straight from a horror movie. It must have gotten in through the hole in the wall. These kids were just hanging out down in the tunnel, calling themselves the Tunnel Snakes. The only thing they do is hang out in the tunnels and just have cool leather jackets on. That's it. When push comes to shove, they're not that cool, however. I mean, who would be in this situation? You've got a death machine just going at you. I think I'd be scared and running for my life as well. I don't blame them. This is bad, however. This situation is not an ideal situation. You don't want a Deathclaw, a killing machine, inside your bunker. And it's even got kids, man. It laid some eggs. This is bad news. As if mutated radioactive monsters weren't enough, there's also some bad people out there. These people, for example, well, it speaks for itself. Yeah, so if you haven't guessed, they're cannibals. And that's bad in my book. I hope it's bad in everyone's book. These are some mean-looking people. I think it's about time we put some people on guard duty. So let's start by building some kind of security office where they can keep all their gear and just monitor the whole bunker. So I wanted to make these like classic steel lockers that you see in movies and video games, and I think they turned out pretty good. If you want to make these at home, it's really simple. Just follow the instructions on screen. You don't even need that many pieces. Just some different bricks that you probably already have at home. Now we got somewhere for the security guards to put their clothes when they go to work. I think they look good as decoration as well. Let's place them into the security office and let's add a weapons cage. The most requested room is an armory. I want to add some sliding doors as well so we actually can open and close the cage. Let's add a security desk where they can sit and do their paperwork, everything like that, and do some controlling of the systems in the bunker. Here's a quick little design for an easy folding chair you can make at home with only 5 pieces. And we're done. That took me like 5 seconds and I've got a nice chair. Let's add it to the build. Let's add some more paperwork for these guards. They've got a lot to do. I really love the design on this typewriter, so I just had to add it. Here I think we could use an electrical box. And let's add the guards. These guys don't look... I think we need to help them get ready for work. Let's build a gym. I actually already pre-built this wall and added some cool stickers that's related to Fallout. I found these online and I think they look great on this wall. Yeah, I'm just gonna come clean. Fallout is my absolute favorite game. Let's move on. Let's add a shelf with some drinks for the thirsty people of the gym. Let's also add a dumbbell stand where they can lift heavy weights. Wait, who's this guy? I recognize him from TikTok?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I need just 1 minute, please.
Man, let's add a Nuka-Cola machine where you can pick a fresh, cold, ice-cold Nuka-Cola after your workout routine.
What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola? Welcome to Nuka World!
Let's put that bad boy down next to the poster, and next to the cola machine we have this gym bro. very surprised at the janitor lifting his weight. Let's also add some training bikes where you can bike as fast as you can without going outside. This guy is doing some training to be able to fight whatever comes his way.
Quick design tip.
So I built this really simple treadmill that you can build at home. It's just a few tiles and a few plates and that's it. I found some special tap pieces that works great with this. Just add a panel that looks like something you would have in your car and then you're done. You better know what you're doing though. This guy does not know how to work the treadmill. The gym is done. We got everything you can do in a gym. We got biking so fast you sweat. You got fighting mannequins. We've got trying out the treadmill. It might not work out for you, but then you can lift weights like this guy. Our security is now ripped. So let's put him to work in the security room. Now we're finally done with the security office and we got trained guards doing their work at maximum capacity. So hopefully we can at least be safe for a while. Man, these guys, they look ready for anything. I want to add another room that's kind of like a garage slash workshop where they work on their power armors, which are basically walking tanks that you can jump into and protect yourself from anything. Even protecting yourself from the death claw, the monster in the basement. So I think we need one of those. With these guys protecting us, I mean, I feel safe. Let's add them into the build, have this guy do some work on them, add the other guy, and a tool bench. And we're done. Here they're doing some work on the power armors so they can be better out in combat and protect them from whatever the wasteland throws at them. This guy is the mechanic, he does the work, and these guys are ready to fight. These power armors are brick built, which means that there are no minifigure parts except the head. I'm really happy with that because I wanted to experiment and it turned out really good. Courage today, victory tomorrow. With these words, the security team is ready to do their work and protect the people. There's one thing I'm wondering though. Where is the boss? Where is the manager of this establishment? The overseer, if you will. Well, let's look into that and build his office and find out what actually happened. What's he doing? What's he up to? From here he can monitor the whole vault and see what everybody's doing. But it looks like he's up to something as well. Why is there so much food here? And who's this? Is this his actual robot butler?
You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia.
That feels wrong, man. This guy's eating way too much. He's eating all of the supplies from the bunker. And still he is the one monitoring everyone in the bunker? That's not right, man. Oh, just have to. The problem with bunkers is that the rooms are very small. And it would actually get kinda claustrophobic, so I would like to see something bigger and more open. Some kind of atrium for all the people suffering down underground. Maybe a nice and calm place where you can just relax, be on a picnic with your spouse, or do some grilling. Yeah, I like that. Let's build it. I really want to make this a nice and open space where you can relax and just be yourself and take a breather for a moment, because the bunker life is stressful and there's a lot of things to do, and here, this is the place to come when you want to relax. I want to make this room as breathable as possible, so I'm making it 3 plates wide and I'm making it 2 stories high. I'm also making it the same blue color as some of the other rooms, make it match the bunker overall. I really like the combination of this blue and this yellow. Behind these 2 doors we can find a stairway up to the next floor. As a final step, let's add some people as well.
Quick design tip.
Here's an easy steel bench that I made. It's just made out of a few plates and a few tiles. It's just follow along the simple instructions on screen. Just add that into the build, and now let's take a look at the atrium. Now this is where you want to be. This is a nice place for the family to hang out, do some grilling, just sit down and relax. This old couple is on a picnic date, and it looks like they're having a wonderful time. This little girl, she's the happiest in the world because she got her red balloon, and she's just on top of the world. I think this guy is a bit embarrassed to ask this girl out on a date. Hopefully it goes well. These two are enjoying some watermelon and waiting for that spicy, nice chicken. This doesn't look like one of the people who lives in the bunker. Is this a raider from upstairs, trying to blend in? It sure looks like the guards are looking for him. Are there more things going on here that we don't notice? This scientist is just having a break. But on the other balcony? Is that Nick Valentine? The robot detective? I think he's looking for the missing food, the supplies that were stolen. Hopefully, he can find out who the real food thief is. Let's quickly add a few more rooms. First up, we have a simple storage room. This is just a storage room. What else is there to say? And for this one, this is also a storage room, but this one is a bit special, because I think there's some of the raiders sneaking into it, stealing the weapons from the bunker. Yeah, these guys are definitely trying to steal the weapons, but they didn't bring the best crew. This guy is afraid of rats. This is by far my most anticipated part. I think it's you guys' most anticipated part as well, because now we're gonna put the bunker together and finally see how it looks when it's complete. God, I'm excited for this.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Wow, what a journey. My original plan was to install lights on these rooms as well as I did on the first rooms, but that took too much time, so I'm gonna do that in a separate video. If you would like to see the bunker with lights and see how I do it, let me know in the comments. I'm very happy with the results of this bunker, and this was such a fun project, so I've had so much fun with this, and I definitely want to do more like this. So stay tuned for the next video, because I got some really good and great ideas. I'm also going to do a full version review, so I can show you every room of the bunker and do it slowly. If you'd like that, let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up. Other than that, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. So I spent a few months building the ultimate Lego bunker. With around 20 rooms and a few thousand bricks, I'm gonna show you all of the rooms and everything going on inside. And I'll even add some lights. So join me for a look at my Lego Fallout bunker. So this is the entrance. This is where our vault dweller, our lone wanderer together with Dogmeat, is out walking and he's heading back into the vault. I actually custom designed this figure by adding some custom stickers and also painting some dirt onto him. I also added this Indiana Jones bag onto him, but I cut off the bag part so it looks like a shoulder piece. I worked with a new road plate system for this, and I think they actually work great because you can modify them, and they have anti-studs underneath, so you can just attach them to regular plates, which is great. This blue car is from an exclusive Lego set that's only a gift with purchase, and it looks like a car from the 50s, 60s, which matches perfectly with the Fallout aesthetic. The vault door is actually a piece from a Star Wars set. I don't know the set, but some of you guys actually knew exactly what set it was. Alright, I had to look it up. It was this one, and this is the piece that I used. Let's get back to it. I was thinking of doing a brick build door, but I think this works very good. Maybe in the future. Let's take a look at the first room. This is the main entrance, which is the room you enter when you come through the vault door. In here you will be greeted by the tests to see if you're qualified to even be inside the vault. They will check your vitals, they will see so that you're a person that's fit to be inside the vault. I wanted this to really look like the Fallout entrance vault, so I took a really huge inspiration from that. And I think I nailed it pretty good. We got this blue wall with this yellow line, we got some electrical cords hanging down, there's a doctor and a nurse here, and we also have this guard guarding the elevator down into the vault. I also found this really great poster online that's actually a Fallout poster, and I printed it out and I put it up on the wall. I think it looks great. It's not a Lego version, but hey, it does the job. Let's move on and take a look at the surface. Up here we have this billboard that advertises the vault. We actually have some raiders trying to sneak into the vault over here. They're trying to use dynamite to blow a big hole into the elevator. I think they're gonna hurt themselves though, because they are standing too close to that dynamite. This guy, he has the battle plans of the attack. I wanted to install some lights as well, so we got a light for the lantern over here, and we also got a light for the headlamp on the miner's helmet. Over here we take a look at some questionable stuff, because these guys are cannibals, and yeah, enough said. I installed some lights in the fire as well, and let's move on. I added this destroyed house on the top surface because I wanted it to feel like an apocalypse. This is really the apocalypse after the bombs dropped, so it should be destroyed. The original house is a Harry Potter house, the Privet Drive, Harry Potter's foster home. So I wanted to include that and rebuild it a bit. It's not perfect, I want to do some more details on it, but I think it works for now. Behind this house are actually two junkies doing some jet, which is a drug from Fallout. He's also playing the banjo. I really love the clothes that I found for these figures. They're also grilling some chicken on the fire in a barrel. Yeah. Next up, let's dive into the rooms of the bunker. This is the first floor. And to start it all off, I think we should start with the living quarters, where the people sleep. Here you can get changed and get ready for your day. This guy is not feeling his day though, but he's doing it anyway. He's gotta do what he's gotta do. That's life. I'm really happy with this wardrobe. I think it looks great with the torso sticking up there because it looks like an actual wardrobe and everyone has the same colored vault suit, the blue one. Over here we just have two vault dwellers enjoying life. This little girl is painting something and this guy is trying to watch TV. I bet the reception's kinda bad though. I'm really happy with the design of this TV. It looks like an old TV, like those TVs from the 30s, which is exactly what Fallout has going on for it. So that's just spot on according to me. It's a little bit off though because this guy shouldn't be having a remote because the remote wasn't invented yet. We have some nice beds here as well. If you've seen the first video of the bunker, you know that I've redone this room a bit and I'm very happy with the outcome. This just looks better. It's a much cleaner look. Here we go, the diner. This is a diner inspired by the 50s. I really wanted to capture that 50s vibe of that classic cafe, you know, with the red leather chairs and the tile floor and everything like that. We even got the waitress looking like she's straight out of the 50s. Here you can take a break from everything, you can do some eating, you can do some drinking, you can take a coffee break from your difficult work, whatever you want to do. This is a place where you relax, unless you're the chef. Here, as the chef, you gotta work double hours, all the shifts, nighttime, everything. This is the only chef in the vault, so yeah, he's gotta work hard. Working hard or hardly working, am I right? I wanted to install some lights, so I went for the cozy but also uncomfortable bunker lights. These big bulbs that just sticks out and gives off this green glow-ish. I don't think that would be the most comfortable light to eat in, but I think it matches and fits the bunker vibe aesthetic. Oh, I forgot this one. This is a ceiling fan that I'm very happy with the design of, but I actually forgot to stick it in there, so let's just add that. Oh, my bad, there is a second chef, but she's out hunting for rats in the pantry, so let's disregard her for the minute. I think that's an arm in the freezer there, but we should not judge. These are hard times, my friend. This is a school where you learn everything you need to know about the wasteland outside. These kids are growing up inside the bunker, which is very weird, so they have to learn everything to prepare for the outside. They've got books, they've got... technology is a stretch, but they've got one computer, and it's the teacher's. We got some maps on the wall so they can learn about the countries of the world. However, I don't think all of the countries are still existing because of the bombs, but whatever. We have our teacher here with his nice tie on. He's trying to discipline the children because some of the children are not that obedient and they don't want to listen to the teacher. Let's take a look over here at the gym. When living underground, working out is a necessity. I don't work out, but they sure do. Here you can do everything. You can get in shape and get ready for the wasteland. You can do some fighting, you can do some running, you can do some biking. Everything to get ready for the outside. This room is a bit dim, but I like it. It got that yellow vibe that's like a disgusting dirty gym, which it would be if it's underground. Probably stinks a lot as well. Let's take a look at where they store their stuff. I built 2 storage rooms in this bunker and this is the first one. So this is just a small storage room with a few boxes. That's it. Let's move on to the next room. Let's take the elevator down to the hospital. This is the 2nd floor and here we have the medical bay. Some kind of hospital where you can take care of all your medical problems. This guy is suffering from severe radiation burns and he's turning green, so I think that he needs to amputate that arm. In here we have everything needed for the bunker to keep them healthy and alive. We have some medicine, we have some surgery equipment. I can't remember where I got this, but this is a heart monitor. It's a printed tile and it did fit perfect into this room. We also have this medical degree for Dr. Strange. I don't know who Dr. Strange is, but this guy's certified at least. Hopefully the doctor's good enough so that it doesn't kill his patient. Next to the med bay in the hallway we have the bathrooms, and these bathrooms are dark and scary. There's even a zombie there. Someone didn't finish mopping up the radiation on the floor. I think he's taking a break and reading the newspaper. Next to the bathrooms we have the science lab. Here they do some experiments on zombies from the wasteland. They also trying to figure out the cure to zombification. I played a lot with lights in this room and I wanted it to feel like I really wanted it to look and feel like a science lab. The green light from the zombie tank and the blue lights from the animal tanks. I think I managed to capture that science lab look. Over here we have this guy researching and doing some science experiments on the computers. Let's look at one of my favorite rooms. This is the atrium, and this is the biggest room in the bunker, which can be quite comfortable for the people living there, because here you can relax and just take a breather from all of the stress in the bunker life and be with your family, do some grilling, be on a picnic with your wife, or ask a pretty girl on a date. I really wanted this to be a bigger room, so I added another floor to it and I actually added a balcony. I added some doors as well so that you can go upstairs and check out the other rooms. This guy, he's a bit sus. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's infiltrating the bunker, because this is a raider in disguise, and he's reading that newspaper, looking all suspicious with that fake mustache. But I think someone's onto him. I'm really happy with the bench design here. It really looks like a park bench that's made out of steel. It's not that comfortable to sit on, but it works perfect because those are the type of benches that are actually in Fallout. I also have this tiny little table with ketchup and mustard, and I don't know what it is, but I'm really happy with the design on this one. I want to hide the lights better in this room, but it was very difficult. I think I need to drill a hole inside the lamppost to actually fit the cord inside it, but I didn't do that for now. I also know that I should add small lights to the string of lights that's connected to the lamppost and the balcony. I really should add some actual LEDs into that so it looks better. I didn't manage to do that because that's a lot of work. Up here we have Nick Valentine, who's out looking for someone. I think he's looking for a food thief. I think we can figure out who it is if we just take a look at the next room. This room is very fun because this is one of the most requested rooms from you guys. This is the Overseer's office, which means he's basically the boss of the bunker. He decides who gets in, he decides where you sleep, and even what you eat. And by the looks of it, he's eating a lot of it. I really wanted to make that selfish douchebag boss, so he's eating all of the supplies from the bunker. And he even has his own butler robot, which is a Mr. Handy, delivering food for him. So the robot is basically stealing all the bunker supplies without making the Overseer feel guilty about anything. Which I just love this. This is his terminal. He basically keeps a nice list and a bad list, just like Santa does. So he knows who is on his nice list and who gets more food and who gets less food. So he even has security cameras all over the bunker. Underneath the Overseer we have the Vault-Tec security office. This is where our Vault-Tec security personnel hangs out. They keep logs on everyone in the vault, they do paperwork, and they keep all of the guns safe. This is completely inspired by Fallout 4's Vault-Tec security rooms. To be completely modest, well, I'm not modest now, but I think I nailed it. I am very happy with these chairs that I did. They are metal folding chairs, and they look pretty darn close to the ones from the game. I also have this little small desk here with a typewriter, and the typewriter, I did not design it myself, but it looks exactly like the ones from Fallout 4. And I'm just so happy with that. I also made these metal lockers where they put their clothes and their stuff, and I think they turned out great as well. If I said the atrium is my favorite room, well, maybe this is almost above that, because this one is very nice. I'm very happy with this room. For the weapons locker, I have a sliding door which you can open, and I even installed a small red light above it. I want to install more lights in this room, but that's the case for all of the rooms, so I didn't get around installing lights everywhere, but I do have a lot of lights. Anyways, this room, I'm just very happy with this room. Let's move on. Let's move on to some happiness. I think we need to see how these people live. We checked out the small living area, but I want to check out the bigger living area. That living area that's a bit more like luxurious and a bit more expensive for people to live at. Let's check that out. Here people dance to music, they enjoy life, and they just hide away from all of the difficult things you have to experience in the wasteland. This lady, she even has time for her cats, which she quite frankly has too many of. I wanted to make this a really cozy build, so I added this really nice and comfy couch and this armchair. Unfortunately, it's occupied by cats, and I'm allergic to cats, so I would hate it in there. We also have the same nice beds that we had in the first room. These are the same design and I really like them. The nice contrast with the black and white, it combines perfectly with the dark tan. And it also matches the tan floor. Here people do a lot of different activities. These two are dancing, this guy is reading something, and she's taking care of the plants. Which I don't know how authentic those plants are. The plants out in the wasteland, well, they're radiated and probably dead. Maybe this is an artificial plant, or she's just watering plastic. We only have a few rooms left now, so let's take a look at the power generator. Somehow the people of this bunker get their electricity, and these are the people working hard day and night, sweating their blood and tears to give people a bathroom light while they brush their teeth. Kind of unfair if you ask me, but it's needed, and I actually think I should expand this room, but as for now, this is a good size. I also wanted to add a little light, because this is a dark and depressing workstation. I wanted that blue electricity light, just from the power generator. I'm very happy with this room. It's a very simple build, there's some cool details, but there's also just like this industrial gray look to it, which is perfect, because it's in the basement and it just looks like a place where you would generate electricity. These people are working hard and giving the people of the bunker what they need. We've talked about power, we've talked about the overseer stealing food, but let's talk about where the food actually comes from. You can get food from the wasteland, but in this bunker they actually produce their own food. So this is the farm. It's not really a farm, but it's some kind of synthetic home inside farm. To quote Todd Howard, it just works. These people are dedicated food scientists. They're doing everything they can to regrow food inside the bunker so that the people can eat. Here I wanted something fresh and clean. If you've played Fallout 4, you know about the Institute. And this build was a bit inspired by the Institute and their plantation that they have. We have some different vegetables here. We have corn, we have carrots, we have some pineapples. I don't know how they grow them, but they do. We have a few shelves on the wall with different jars of preserves that they have stored. Maybe they pickle most of their vegetables to keep them fresh for a longer time. Here we also have a Mr. Handy, and this is a robot that serves as a helper, a home companion, and whatever it can be. The overseer used it as a butler. These people are using it as a farmhand, helping out around the farm, doing some harvesting and just keeping that produce fresh. Let's take another look into the basement. The basement can be a really scary place, and it is. In this particular room, which is a cave, one radiated zombie has actually made it into the bunker and has been swimming around in radiation waste for such a long time that he started glowing. That's scary, especially for these two children that just discovered him. This is a small room, probably one of the smallest rooms, and it's just a destroyed cave full of radiation waste. Here's another room from the basement, and this is a power armor garage, which is basically a place where you repair and fix your power armor that you've been using out in the wasteland. A power armor is just pretty much a walking tank, a suit that you jump into and it protects you from everything the wasteland throws at you. We've got a lot of details in this room. We've got some shelves over there. We got this shelf that's tilted. I'm very happy with that design. We also have this gas can, which is actually pretty simple, but I really like how it turned out. Over here, this guy is doing some work on some electrical parts. I think he's working on fuses for the power boxes. This little red tool cart is actually from a Lego set. I think it's from the corner garage, and I just love the design on this. These guys are getting ready to get back out there and fight some irradiated creatures from the wasteland. This room is the most dangerous room in the whole bunker. Because here we have a Deathclaw, which is a mutated creature from the wasteland, and I don't even know what kind of animal it is anymore, but it's dangerous and it's gonna eat everyone in the bunker. These guys are tunnel snakes, which basically is a gang in the bunker who are just hanging out down in the tunnels, being badass, but not really. I wanted this to be the basement part that is like abandoned. So we have a water leak, we have a closed off section, this door is out of function, you can't go in there, and there's even a big hole in the wall where the death claw came from. I also love this printed part, which says Gru's Lair. It's from Despicable Me. I think it fit perfect into this build. This is our final room, and this is the second storage room. But this room is currently being raided by raiders. They're stealing all of the guns and all of the supplies from the bunker. However, they don't seem that competent, because this guy can't even handle a rat. I wanted this to match the first storage room, but I wanted it to be bigger and have a lot more variety. So I added some different size shelves. I added some different kind of boxes and stuff to the shelves that looks like, well, it looks kind of diverse, and I'm happy with it. That's the whole bunker. Now you have finally seen every single room, and we've seen the bunker put together, and I can finally rest. This has been a massive project and I've loved it. Thank you for following me on this journey, from the drawing board to the end result. This has been an insane journey and a very fun project to do. After 20 rooms and an immense struggle with the lights, we can finally say that the bunker is done. When the bombs dropped, everyone moved underground into bunkers to survive, also known as vaults. This is the story of Fallout, which is a huge role-playing video game that turned into a really good TV show. I built one of these vaults in Lego, and you guys loved those videos. I built what I thought was a big one, but today we're going even bigger. Adding 12 new unique rooms, this is Vault 404. This video is sponsored by Firestar Toys. First up, we need a number for our vault. Every vault has a number and has a unique story to it. This vault I wanted to call 404. Almost all of the vaults were experiments, and this one is no different. The plan for this vault was, of course, to shut down all technology after 220 years. Well, it's kinda obvious. 404, error, it's fun. Thank you for laughing at my jokes. I built a lot of figures for this project, but I never managed to get everyone into matching blue vault suits, unfortunately. However, I finally got around and ordered a bunch of them with my own vault number printed onto them. Vault 404. Let's rebuild all our dwellers into proper Vault 404 residents. I got around 40 torsos with different leg combinations to get some variety on the figures. This is what we had before, and this is what we've got now. I think it's a huge upgrade, and to have the vault number on the back, it just makes it so perfect. Here are some of the residents of Vault 404. A lot of figures have been upgraded, and some of them are new. This is our new overseer, the boss of the vault. He has a lot of responsibility to entertain the dwellers while we reconstruct the vault and they wait here. Hopefully he can handle it. Here's our previous sketch, and there's definitely room for an upgrade. I want to add 12 new rooms, making it 6 floors high. Here's the list of rooms we're gonna add. Prison, cryo room, armory, water plant, bar, trading area, bathrooms, radio station, laundry, server room, workshop and barbershop. That's a lot of rooms. With our vault residents looking proper dressed up, we should look at some other issues with the vault. Mainly the vault door. This is our vault door right now, and we need to do something about that. A lot of you guys have requested a new door custom built, so we should really get on that right now. This one looks okay, but I think we can make a much better one if we build one on our own. We also need to build that door mechanism that opens the door from the inside. And we have to remove some shrubs from the outside, because Fallout isn't that green. So let's start by removing the green from the outside, making this a truly depressing place to live. There are a lot of cool vault doors to take inspiration from for sure, but most of them are bigger than our actual vault entrance, so we need to make our own design. This is very easy to build. Since we're working with a pretty small door, we couldn't include too many details unfortunately, but I do like how it looks. The yellow is really important to include together with the gray metal door, so we can identify it as that iconic vault door. I got a bit carried away and started rebuilding the entrance here as well, so I added some yellow railings to the outside, switched out the cars and added some more details. I also had to add some storytelling skeletons. These guys tried to get into the vault but never got there in time, unfortunately. I think the vault door ended up looking really nice, and we got that iconic look that we were after. We even got the inside door mechanism. It's not working, but it looks good. A much needed upgrade from the previous version if you ask me. Before moving on to the rooms, there's one more thing we need to do. I think it looks a bit weak with only one plate thick floors and roofs. Plus, it's a bit unstable. So we should really add some thickness to that base and make it look a bit sturdier. I'm just adding regular dark bricks underneath to make the whole room sturdy and give it a thicker floor. Placing these bricks between the plates locks them in and secures them so that we actually can put some weight on the floor, which is exactly what we need. Much better. Now it actually looks like this is built within a mountain underground. No more paper thin floors. Here's a before and here's an after. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Firestar Toys stepped up and provided me with some really cool custom Fallout pieces. These are from their website and we have everything from the Fallout universe. And we got this cool picture as well. I got some really cool custom figures from the Fallout TV show, and we've got some food items, we've got some weapons, we've got some power armor helmets, and man, I've been looking forward to use these on my power armors that I've built. Here we have some really cool stuff that will be perfect for our vault. This is amazing. Look at those sugar bombs. Look at the posters. Thank you Firestar Toys for sponsoring me with some cool custom Fallout Lego stuff. Check out Firestar Toys if you want to get some of your own, or click the link in the description. The absolutely most requested room from you guys have been an armory. I thought I built one last time, but it turned into a security office more than an armory. So now I'm actually going to do it justice and build an actual armory. Finally. With a base of blue and a darker blue, we follow the theme of the vault but make it stand out a bit. I also want there to be metal grids on the floor. This room needs to look a bit more industrial than the other rooms. Let's build a power armor cage with the power armor locked inside. I also want to add some shelves full of ammunition. This place is stocked, locked and loaded. Let's add some fusion cells for the laser weapons as well. I built a custom reloading bench inspired by Fallout New Vegas, and I think it looks great. Here we have an ammo press where you can press your own ammunition and reload your weapons. I found these cool small shells and added them as well. I think they fit perfect. Let's add some figures to this build, some more reloading stations, and we should be done. The people guarding this room, well, they don't have that much experience, but what can you expect? Growing up in a vault, you don't expect people to just go around shooting guns. So I get it. I hope I finally did the armory justice. I'm very happy with it, and I think we included most things that you need in an armory. Maybe we could add some more guns, but we got the iconic 10mm gun from Fallout, thanks to Firestar Toys, so I'm happy. If the weapons break, or you simply want to build custom ones, it's always good to have a workshop. Joe works full-time as a hobbyist craftsman and builds new weapons for the dwellers, as well as some questionable things. Let's build him a workshop. This room is going to be 16 by 16 studs, so it makes it a bit smaller, but we can definitely cram some stuff in there for him to work with. Let's give him a workshop table with a wood saw, some material, a terminal and a teddy bear. Clamp, and then he needs a drill as well. Let's also give him some material to work with and some different knickknacks. I think Joe has everything he's got to be creative. Let's not give him too much creativity though. I wonder what he's actually building right now. As long as he doesn't... Moving on from Joe, another popular request has been a water treatment plant. It doesn't sound like the funniest request, but you guys really wanted me to build one. We have a power station, and water is a necessity in life, and a big part of keeping a vault running, so I understand, and I guess it's time to address the lack of water. A water treatment plant is basically just a place where the vault dwellers purify their water so they don't drink irradiated water. Sounds reasonable. Let's start with a blue base again and add a dark gray floor. We need to build some water tanks and some tubes and pipes where the water can travel through, thus cleaning it in the process. I don't know how this works, but I think that sounds good. We also need a terminal where we can control the process. Some more tanks, some pressure tanks, a small little stairway up to the control rig, and some people, of course. Now, with these hardworking people, the water should be good to go to the vault now. Let's deliver some water. The foreman sure looks happy, as long as there's nothing contaminating the water. Right. Since we got this really cool power armor helmet, I really want to upgrade my design of the power armor. So let's rebuild it quick and see what we can do with the new helmet. In the Fallout universe, you can wear a power armor, which is basically a walking tank that the military uses, and this is my 4th version. I think this is the final one. It actually finally looks like a power armor. I'm very happy with this. Moving on from the Brotherhood of Steel, a fun room to build is a bar. This is heavily inspired by Fallout Shelter, the mobile game, because it's a perfect reference of how you can build and design some of these rooms. I'm combining the gambling room and the bar room from Fallout Shelter in this one. I want this to be a bit more cozy. I want to take inspiration from Fallout Shelter, but also an old classic bar with a wooden base for the wall and then a neon sign, some pictures on the wall, and of course shelves full of booze and bottles. We need a pool table, of course, to have something to do after work. A fun little arcade machine would look great as well. Some tables full of drinks and then the iconic red bar stools. I love these. Now for the actual bar, it needs to look grand, with cool wood carvings and some beer on tap, of course. Here we find people who relax after a long day's work at the power station, or the occasional old man who maybe shouldn't have access to the bar. Charlie Whitechapel is tending the bar and he does a great job, however. Maybe it's best to keep a robot as the bartender. Seems like a lovely place to relax for a while, hang out with your friends, have a drink and just laugh. Enjoy life. When the people in the vault get too rowdy or simply start to disagree more than they should, you could use some fresh blood and new faces to calm down the situation. That's why we should build a radio station where the vault dwellers can broadcast to the outside world, whether it's for new people in the vault or to trade. It can be smart to have a connection to the outside world. This needs to be soundproofed for recording and have some great vinyls to play for the people in the vault. We should also have some recording equipment such as microphones, mixing table, and maybe some instruments as well, so that the dwellers can start their own band.
Why don't you spare us all this pain your voice will surely bring? 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. The night is long, the skies are clear.
That was beautiful. Here we have a guest from the outside, a guy with his own radio channel. Maybe he wants to sign the new band.
I understand.
Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog, ow! And you're listening to Galaxy News Radio. We're Radio Free Wasteland, and we're here.
When the Vault Radio does manage to get some people on the line, they might show up here to trade with the Vault. Here, Wastelanders, Caravans, and Brotherhood soldiers can swing by and do some trading with the people of the Vault. Everyone's welcome, but maybe everyone shouldn't be welcome. However, it's a nice place to be. Sit down, have a drink, listen to some music, eat some fresh food. Fresh, questionable, irradiated food, of course. Get some medicine from a highly trained doctor, and buy some of Mr. Sanders' mysterious acid pops. This looks quite nice. They seem to get along nicely. Hopefully the Vault can earn some caps that way, so that they can trade some of their stuff for stuff they need for the surface. I really like this Nuka-Cola poster from Firestar Toys, and I also love the food items. This doctor is practicing medicine in his own way. He's learned everything from that journal. I don't know if we can trust it. He Here we have Lucy and Maximus, a visitor from Vault 33 and the Brotherhood. And this girl is enjoying some Nuka-Cola Quantum. For those who can't follow the rules, we have something special in mind for them. A prison, of course. We should definitely build one, since we're letting Wastelanders in now. We just need to make sure that there are no raiders getting in as well. None whatsoever. For a prison, I'm thinking we take some inspiration from the vaults that did experiments. Most vaults wouldn't have a prison, but we can make some type of cells. Here's a raider from the outside who tried to steal some of the supplies from the vault. This guy has been here for some time now. Maybe he served his sentence. And look, how nice! Cake delivery. It's about time they had a coffee break. This harmless, nice dweller is just here with some cake. Nothing out of the ordinary here. She sure looks happy to see him though. Maybe she just loves cake, or maybe that's her friend. Next up, we should take a look at the living quarters. I want to add some details and move some things around. Maybe switch up the colors to make it a bit more cozy too. First of all, let's change the color of the walls from that gray to a warmer color. I'm thinking dark tan. Now it actually looks cozy to live here and not sad and miserable. Let's move the beds around a bit. I think we can fit a few more beds into there, so we can actually fit more people. We have to remodel the floor a bit, but that's okay. Let's build a few lockers for the people to keep their personal stuff in. I've used this same design throughout the vault, so this should fit perfectly in the living quarters as well. Let's give them some storage possibilities and also switch out the wardrobe to actually match the lockers now, because it was white and I think we should go for that gray instead. Let's put down some more lockers, a jukebox, and a TV. Now people actually have things to do. Let's not forget the people, of course. Here we have a single dad with a baby and his daughter taking a family portrait for their album. This kid is just having too much fun and is about to mess up the whole thing. It was never a good idea to combine roller skating and baseball. Some people just sleep in and miss work, and some just want to watch TV in peace. Here I use some of the cool stuff from Firestar Toys, like the sugar bombs and the Blast Radios game. Looks great. I think this guy is studying for the GOAT exam. It looks like he's cheating though, with some mentats. Miss Abernathy always leaves her cats everywhere. I'm surprised this vault lets her have her pets here. Here we have a very devoted dweller keeping this plant alive. Maybe there's some hope to replant it when it's time to go outside to the surface again. I highly doubt it though, but keep up the good job. I feel like this room is too gray and looks a bit boring, so let's add a blue wall instead, matching that iconic vault blue that we use in the rest of the vault. Much better. A simple but necessary upgrade. Now this room doesn't stand out that much and blends into the rest of the vault, like it should. Here we have the science lab, where they do experiments on things from the wasteland and see how they can help them. Or maybe they are trying to do something else. Either way, I want to change some things here. The wall, just like the hospital, needs a new look. I'm thinking blue again. I also want to give this place some more detail. I realized I need to change the floors as well to match the hospital, since they're next to each other and I don't like the look of the science lab quite yet. So let's rip everything out and put in a new floor. This way it will match the hospital, and I also realized that no other room in the entire vault has a white floor. So I want some continuity. Now we should get a much nicer look so we can put everything back again, and damn, I do think this looks much better. It looks like they might have some radiation issues here and maybe there's a contamination leak. He is turning awfully green, that guy. We need to rush the irradiated scientists to the hospital ASAP. They are not looking good. This guy is growing out an extra arm. I think it might be time to cut it off. Moving on. Now we're gonna build a room with an experiment that only the wealthiest citizens got to be a part of. This will be our cryo-sleep chambers. Here, the vault dwellers got frozen and went into cryo-sleep just as they entered the vault and the bombs dropped. The plan is to wake them up when the world is restored to its former glory again. Who knows when that'll happen. This has the same base as the other rooms with that iconic vault blue and yellow. Then we need the sleeping chambers. In the video game they look like pods with padding inside and a window to see what's going on. I think this should do it. Let's build a few more so these people can sleep happily and unknowingly. This section will be closed off to authorized personnel only, because this is quite the delicate situation and we cannot do something to accidentally wake up the people too early. Shit, there's definitely some explaining to do here. Now we're coming down to luxurious things that might not be accessible in an apocalypse, but hey, this vault needed an upgrade, so I think the dwellers will be happy. It's time to add a barbershop. Got some dirt in that hair of yours? Or radiation got the worst of you? Let's cut it off. Maybe get a wig and everything will be alright. Come to the Vault 404 saloon to get your bird's nest trimmed. Have a sit down and enjoy some Grognak the Barbarian comics while you wait. Not happy with the results? Too bad. There's nowhere else to go, so you just have to live with it. I'd stay away from there if I were you. He means well, but maybe he's not the best hairdresser in town. But he's the only one. What can you do? I don't understand how we forgot such an essential thing as bathrooms and showers last time. My bad. We should definitely get on that ASAP. We have one toilet already, but it's occupado. So we need some new ones and some way to clean up after a gym session. All that sweat while building muscles needs to go away. We need a tiled bathroom floor for the shower stalls, some drains. I'm thinking this room should be a bit different with the colors, so I'm trying out a new version for the walls here. Tan, gray and yellow. It might work. Then I want the stalls with no room so that the people are uncomfortable when the guy next to you drops a nuclear bomb. Again. Let's finish tiling that floor and add some more detail, such as a few lockers to change the clothes when you've been to the gym. The idea is to have this room next to the gym, so that makes sense. These lockers are the same design throughout the whole vault, and I really like what we ended up with. Let's add those lockers to the build and some more details. I think we should add some showers as well. Let's go for the uncomfortable, steel, cold showers that are hard to maneuver. And of course, let's not forget about the people. We need to add some people into this place, some benches, and some more people. I think we're done. Here's Grandpa just enjoying a book in the locker room. I don't know why he's doing that. It's kinda weird, right? This guy is just flaunting what he's got. He's not afraid. Only bubbles covering his junk, and he even brought his own vinyl player. It seems like not everybody likes this guy's attitude and the way he does things. I understand. People are just minding their own business, but this guy went ahead and took a dump, not flushing, and he's completely nude. What's going on in this bathroom? We're almost at the finish line, but let's quickly add a few more rooms. Just like me, it takes 3 to 5 business days to do laundry in this vault. But this woman is putting on a strong face and doing it. Maybe not the most fun job in the world, but it needs to be done. Washing everyone's vault suits and keeping morale high. Maybe she just loves that job. She looks like she's actually enjoying it, getting away from people, having some time to herself. I'm very happy with this one. It was very fun to build all the small details, and I've never built a laundry room before. It was more fun than I thought to build washing machines. I'm also very happy with this vacuum cleaner. Let's move on to another room. Here we have a small room that's caught on fire. This intern didn't do a good job. Maybe it was his first job. However, he didn't keep the servers alive, and now the whole thing is on fire. That's bad. With that said, all of the rooms are done. Now we just have to put everything together and see how it all looks. All in all, we have upgraded to 6 floors and 32 rooms. If we've not covered all of the possible rooms we could build, I don't know what to do. I accidentally dropped this car while putting everything together, and I don't know what to put it back together. I've added some lights to some of the rooms, but I didn't have time to put everything together, and installing lights is just one of the worst things I've ever done. It's super cool and it's very fun, but it's just tedious and I never get it done in time. There's also too many cords to put together, and I'm not an electrician, so I don't know even how to begin. I do have to fix some things, but I would consider this project actually done now. There's always a possibility to add more rooms, so I could do that in the future. I don't know what else to add. There are some wonkiness to connecting the elevators, that's why there's a gap, but I have to fix that. I didn't fix it now, however. I will do it in the future. I really like the blue light from the elevators. I would love to light up the whole bunker, but it's 32 rooms, so that's a lot of work. I appreciate you watching this and following my series while I've built a Fallout bunker, Fallout vault. I'm very happy with the results, and it's been a fun journey because Fallout is by far my absolute favorite game. If you've liked this project, please give a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. With over 40 rooms, we have a lot of things to look at. I realized I never actually did a walkthrough of every single room, so today we're gonna do exactly that. Join me as we take a look at every single room in Vault 404. So obviously this took a lot of time. It's a big vault, it's a lot of rooms. I wanted to make it authentic, I wanted it to look like Fallout, I wanted every single room to have a purpose and have a nice look and be like this room would actually be inside a vault. The Fallout game series is one of my favorite video game series ever, so of course I was inspired by that and I had to build a vault. I came up with the name Vault 404 because 404 is just fun, it's the error code when you don't find the web page, and I thought that this vault would have some kind of electrical technical issue. That would be the experiment of this vault. The electricity would shut down in a few hundred years, because every vault has an experiment, right? Let's take a look at it and actually start with the surface and the entrance. Here I have a few modified cars that I turned into an apocalyptic version, and basically you could just do that by removing some parts and adding some rusted parts and some vegetation. We have our lone wanderer up here waiting to get into the new vault because he's been wandering for quite some time, and this vault has been closed ever since the apocalypse hit. We have this cool Fallout shelter sign, and I got it from Firestar Toys. They were kind enough to supply me with a lot of cool Fallout themed stuff. And I just love this vault door, it turned out really great. This is the second version. I've built one. My first version was just one piece, but this ended up looking much better. In the entrance we have some cool lights that I installed. I really like the red lights and the blue light from the ceiling. It really gives the vibe from the vault entrance that you need. We have a security guard here guarding the entrance, and here we have some scientists filling out a form for this wastelander wanting to get in. I really like this room actually, with the tubes in the background and the colors. I'm very happy with it. Let's take a look at the surface above the vault entrance. We have some rocky surface, a mountain basically, which is hollowed out for the vault. And here we have an elevator where they are doing some maintenance, because that's necessary, right? I wanted to add lights for this build, and you're gonna see later what went wrong and maybe what went right, but the light is not perfect. Here we have some raiders trying to get into the vault, and they're not the smartest people because that guy up there is actually hacking away with a pickaxe and this guy is trying to blow it up, so yeah, they're gonna hurt each other. Here we have a few raiders that are hanging out by their camp, and they have a battle plan to get into the vault. I really like details like this, just adding like storytelling elements into your build. And these raiders are actually cannibals, so we have a few skeletons here being feasted upon. And next to that we have the Brotherhood of Steel coming into the rescue. These helmets are really cool. I got them from Firestar Toys too, and they are third-party custom made, but I mean, they just fit perfect. The power armor is my own design, and if you want to see how I done it, I have a few shorts on my YouTube channel where you can check out the tutorial. I mean, the helmet just goes perfect with that armor, and I'm very happy with this part. I want to do a few more Brotherhood soldiers, and it would be fun to do something that is a Brotherhood of Steel build. However, it's not my preferred faction, but they are, I mean, they're cool, right? And the laser weapons, the weapons that they got, I also got them from Firestar Toys. they look amazing. It's just authentic Fallout weapons. I'm actually thinking of expanding this top part, the surface, but I would need to build more rooms underneath to be able to actually have that surface part to build on. I have been switching out what I've had up here, because in the beginning it was just a house, and now it's a destroyed house with this campfire. Yeah, let's see what we're gonna do with that. But let's take the elevator down a floor and start checking out the actual vault. I'm happy with the elevator design, it looks Fallout authentic. Here's the living quarters, and I've built 2 of these rooms, one a bit bigger and one a bit smaller. And there's actually a lot to go through in these rooms. I have a lot of characters with the vault suits, and they're doing a lot of stuff just hanging out in the living quarters. This woman is reading a travel magazine, dreaming of traveling outside the vault, and yeah, that probably might never happen. We have a lot of cool prints here. The Mr. Pebbles, the cat, the first cat in space, I love that. The please stand by sign on the TV, because there's probably no reception on that TV. The TV design is a combination of some inspiration from Instagram, but also my own design. It ended up looking really good. It's like one of those old 1920s TVs. Here we have a woman watering a plant, well, probably one of the few plants still left in the vault. We have a cool locker design, and that's completely my own actually. I'm very happy with this, and I've used it throughout the entire vault. Anyway, this guy is studying for his GOAT exam, and he needed some mentats to be able to concentrate. I think it's just a nice touch to add actual stuff from the Fallout games into the build. We have this crazy cat lady called Mrs. Abernathy, and she's just looking out for her cats. I don't think animals are allowed inside the vaults, but somehow these people are stuck with a few cats and Mrs. Abernathy. In the smaller room, we have a family taking their portrait with this old-timey camera, which just fits perfect in the Fallout universe. We have the bunk beds, as I mentioned, but we also have this jukebox with a guy doing roller skates and baseball catching, which was a bad idea, so he's falling over. These wires here, ignore them, because this light situation is just a temporary light situation. I wanted to put some lights in for you guys, but it's not perfect and it's not finished. I'm gonna redo that in the future. Let's look at the gym. This is the gym where people can come to just work out, or be surprised by the janitor lifting weights. This is just a fun little hint to Anatoly, which is a YouTube TikTok dude who just lifts weight dressed as a janitor. Here we have some training equipment, and this is just a simple gym, inspired by the gyms from Fallout Shelter, the mobile game. Next to the gym we have, of course, the showers, the locker room. Here you can get dressed for the gym or take a shower afterwards. And there's a lot going on here. We have lockers again, we have some bathroom stalls, and we have showers. It might look a bit cramped in here, but I wanted to add a few figures and get some story in there. Like Grandpa reading a book inside the gym while fully dressed. I don't know why he's doing that. He's probably not even going to go to the gym. And I feel like whenever you're building a bathroom, you always have to add a toilet with a giant poop in it. That's always the thing. And this woman, she's not enjoying that smell. There are no bathrooms, showers, or locker rooms in the Fallout Shelter mobile game, but there are in the actual video games. So I added these vents as well, because they would look, I mean, if you wouldn't have vents in a bathroom, that would be weird. And they look authentic to the video games. Let's take a look at the actual shower. I'm very happy with the design of this. It's very simple and it doesn't use that many parts, but it really looks like a locker room shower. With the dial on it as well for hot and cold water. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So feel free to just use it in your build. Let's move on from the locker room into the storage room next to it. And here we have a vault dweller that actually died. Someone probably lost the key to this room. I don't know, you let your imagination flow and figure out what happened to this guy. As I said, this is just a simple storage room with some supplies. Here we also have an example of how bad my cords look and how bad I've done the wiring for the lights. I am embarrassed by this, and I'm gonna fix it in the future. You can see that this is a total shit show. Yeah, I'm gonna take some responsibility for that and fix it in the future. If we, however, follow the cords, we end up at the Overseer's office. And this is a room that I'm very happy with. The lights are not on point here. I want to change that. I want some overhead lights, but this is what we ended up with. We can at least see what's going on here. It's the Overseer sitting with his terminal, keeping track of every single vault dweller in there. He even keeps a list of who's nice and who's naughty. He's just like Santa. As I said, the light situation isn't the best and these cords are just all over the place. However, it kind of fits the vibe of a vault that's been kept going for about 200 years, so it makes sense in a way, but I want to tidy it up and fix it. If we take a look at the overseer's office here, we have these cool curved macaroni pieces, which form a nice window, and they're just simply put on with one snot brick, and it's simple as that. I think it was a cool touch, and it looks like the overseer's office. And I really like this room. This was supposed to be an armory from the beginning, but it ended up being in a security office. And it looks cool, right? It looks like one of the Vault-Tec security offices from the vaults. And this is a combination of inspirations. It's both inspired by Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. We have the same technique for the windows here down in the security office. It's just a different shape. It might look a bit weird to just have a hole because there's nothing behind it. And that would be cool to extend the vault so that you can see something behind the windows. However, that's a whole process, so let's not get into that. Connected to these two rooms, we have the atrium, the biggest room in the vault, and this room is actually 2 floors high, which is the only room that I've built this way, but it gives it a nice touch. And here we have Nick Valentine looking for the food thief in the vault. I think I know who the food thief might be. It's the overseer. He's been stealing all of the food because he's just a hungry guy. We have a lot of cool details here. Here we have a Robco poster, which is a robot designer in the Fallout universe. And the atrium is just really a place where you should come and hang out, chill with your family, have some barbecue, have a picnic with your wife. Enjoy the time and place you live in. And this is supposed to mimic the outside in some kind of way, with all of the blue and the trees, but yeah, it's really artificial, right? Here we have a raider dressed as a vault dweller. He's trying to blend in with his mustache, and I like touches like this, some storytelling as I was telling you before. This security guard is looking for something suspicious, and he's probably looking for the raider dressed as a vault dweller, but he can't find him. That's one good disguise. It's just a stupid joke. It's just stupid stuff. Let's move to some other common areas, like the bar. And here we have one patron enjoying his beer, and this bar has probably seen better days. There's not a lot of people. And I do see why, because this robot, this Mr. Handy, might scare away some people. And that's fair. Fair game. He's inspired by Charlie Whitechapel from the third rail in Good Neighbor from Fallout 4. We have a bartender with a lot of bottles on display, and he serves a lot of drinks, but unfortunately not a lot of customers. Let's take a look at this Mr. Handy here. As I said, inspired by Charlie Whitechapel, and that's basically just the bowler hat on him. This is my own design. It's a bit too big, but I really like how it turned out. If you want to build one yourself, I do have some shorts about how to do that. If we walk through the bar, we end up in the diner, and the diner is a really classic room from Fallout, and it just looks like the one from Fallout 3, which is my main inspiration. This is a diner where you can just sit down and have a snack, have a drink, enjoy the vibe. It's inspired by those 50s diners with the red leather couches and the tiled floor, black and white. I think I nailed the look, and this really looks like something from Fallout. Once again, we have some cool items from game. We have the sugar bombs and the Nuka Girl poster, just to add that extra touch of Fallout immersion. Next to the diner, we have a storage area, just a kitchen storage area. I don't know what you would call this, a walk-in freezer maybe? We have a pig in there in the freezer, and we have an arm, because desperate times calls for desperate measures. We have the rat in there for a little ratatouille action. Underneath this freezer, we have the prison cell. I don't know if every vault has this, I don't think so, but it was highly requested from you guys, so we had to build a prison cell as well. We have a few people in there. This raider locked in there with the new raider dressed as a vault dweller, trying to sneak in by offering the guards some cake. But you can clearly see that he has a knife behind his back and he's ready to kill these people. This is a little hint to the Fallout TV show, where this kinda happened. They were dressed as vault dwellers and there was cake involved. So yeah, inspired by that. Next to the prison, We have the common room that would be a trading area-ish. I don't know what to call this room, but people from outside the vault can come in here and have some drinks, buy some stuff, sell some stuff. Basically a trading area. You can tell that these people are not from inside the vault. We have a doctor here with a stim pack, and this stim pack is 3D printed. We have Lucy and Maximus sitting on the bench, and these are characters from the Fallout TV show. We also have this cool Nuka-Cola cherry bottle, which is really cool. As I mentioned, this is a trading area, so we have a lot of trading going on, selling mysterious potions, stuff from the wasteland, and selling fruits and vegetables, potatoes. Let's take a look at those characters. These, once again, are from Firestar Toys. They're not sponsoring this video, but they did sponsor this project, so that's why I have so much stuff from them. And these characters look amazing. They're straight from the TV show. They look exactly like their counterparts on TV. If you're a wastelander and you want to get your hair trimmed, get some mud out of that hair, whatever that guy from Fallout 4 says in Diamond City, you can get yourself a haircut in here, because I built a barber. And yeah, they might not be the happiest people about their haircuts. It looks like Hitman is getting a perm while reading some comic books. And this woman did absolutely not ask for the purple anime haircut, but she ended up getting it anyway. So maybe not the best barber, but it's the only barber you'll ever find in this vault. Down here we have another room that I wasn't really planning on building, but you guys highly requested the cryo sleep chamber pods. I think I got that right. These are from Fallout 4, and this is how the game starts. You go into cryosleep and wake up 200 years later. So these guys paid extra money to sleep there and wake up when the war is over and everything is back to normal. These are not looking exactly like from the video game, but they are quite similar, and I like my design. You can tell what it is, kinda. And I like that I added the lights as well. It gives that extra touch of coldness. It looks like they're actually freezing because of the blue lights. And I hadn't even mentioned the elephant in the room, that this guy actually broke one of the cryosleep chambers. This guy waking up 100 years too early, he's not gonna be happy. Something that's needed when you're supposed to rebuild society is definitely a farming room. And here we have some watering tubes watering the crops. We have some corn, we have some carrots, we have some pumpkins, I think. This is a cool room and necessary room. Every Fallout vault should have one of these rooms, where you essentially grow food for the entire vault. Here we have a do not enter sign, and that's for the cryo sleep pods, because no one can know what's going on in there. When they're done with the farming, they put their crops in preserves and preserve them to have for future use. And in here we have a Mr. Handy as well. He's helping with the farming and he's collecting some crops. I think these robots are just as handy now as they was before the war. So this one is modified in the way that it has a saw blade on its hand and it has hands to collect the crops. The suits are from a CMF and they fit perfectly, I think. Here's a little fun room. When you rush a room and try to finish the production of the resource fast in Fallout Shelter, the mobile game, the room can actually catch fire. And this is exactly what happened here. So this guy is trying to put out the fire that he caused because he wanted to be more efficient, and that didn't end up working great. We just have a few simple small LED lights in the bottom of the fire here, which makes the fire look so much better, and we have a glow from it that's just, yeah. I really like the look of this room. It's a very simple, small room, but it's good. It just ties the whole thing together. It's a fun little Easter egg if you've played the game and you know what reference it is. Over here we have a school, a classroom, and this is, I mean, it's essential for education in the vault because the people actually grow up in the vault without knowledge from the outside. So we have to have teachers that can teach them about the outside and the history of the world. This is also where you take your GOAT exam, which essentially tells you what you will do in the future, what will be your job and all that. So it's a pretty important test. And these kids, they really don't know how lucky they are to be able to study something in the apocalypse. All they can do is sit happy, enjoy their life until Reclamation Day, which is when they're gonna go outside into the wasteland and retake the wasteland and rebuild the world. One of my favorite things to build when I'm building Lego is to build interior stuff. And here we have a lot of interior stuff. Obviously the whole vault is interiors, but specifically this room, because we can build some tables, we can build some bookshelves, stuff like that. I really enjoy building that. Let's check out what's going on next to the classroom. And here we have the radio room, where they broadcast to the entire wasteland, and it seems that they have a special guest coming into the studio today. We have 3Dog in the building, which is an iconic character from Fallout 3. I've tried to include some Easter eggs here and there, but this one is by far the most obvious one, because it's a direct reference to Fallout 3 and 3Dog's radio channel. This room is where they record some music. They also broadcast to the wasteland and give the people some music, because what is life without music, right? I found these cool tiles from the video series, and they are just perfect because they look like vinyl records, which is, well, I mean, it's the era of vinyl records. Seems as this vault dweller who's running the station together with this girl broadcasting, they are coming to some kind of a deal with 3Dog, and they're signing a contract with this new band that's gonna play in the studio. I'm really happy with the mixing table here and the loud big speakers next to her. They look, I mean, they don't maybe look like they're from the 40s, but I'm happy with the design, and I think the mixing table especially is really good. They even brought in a guest band. This is Zoe Fitzgerald and company, and they're playing some music for the people in the vault today. This is a band that's been featured in all of my builds almost. I have had it in my GTA city, I've had it in my Apocalypse city, and now they're in my Fallout vault. I'm a bit happy with that one actually. As I mentioned, I'm also very happy with this mixing table, and it's very simple, but especially the boom mic, the arm of the microphone. It's very, very simple. It's only 3 or 4 parts, but it looks good and it fills the purpose of a mic that you're gonna be able to adjust, and I love it. Hopefully they can convince 3Dog to stay in the vault and keep doing some music productions and running the radio from now on. Next to the radio room, we have the laundry room. And I was a bit hesitant to build this because it looks a bit stereotypical, but it actually came out as one of my favorite rooms I've built, because of the details. The washing machines on top of each other with the Abraxo cleaning powder on top of it, I mean, just a perfect touch. Then we have the wardrobe with the vault suits, and she's ironing some vault suits there, and the ironing board, it's not my design, but I do love this design. I found it online on Instagram. We also have some other just decoration stuff. We have a baby bottle on a shelf here, and she seems to be enjoying it. She looks a bit stereotypical, like a 40s housewife. That's why I was a bit hesitant about building this room, because, yeah, I feel kind of bad. However, it is the 40s, so it makes sense. Well, it's the future of the 40s, but you know the Fallout lore. Overall, I had really fun building this room because it's very small and it's very detailed. Underneath the laundry room, we have the armory. And this is one of the most requested rooms that you guys wanted me to build. You weren't even happy with the first armory I built, so this was the rebuilt version. And this one is packed with weapons, power armor. They have a reloading bench, everything you can need in an armory. I think this cage turned out really cool for the power armor, and I'm happy with it, with a code lock on it so no one can get in. We have this girl reloading a shotgun and doing some weapon modding, I guess. She's trying to figure out what mod would go best on that weapon. And then we have the reloading bench from Fallout New Vegas. This one is inspired directly from Fallout New Vegas, so let's take a look at it. I'm very happy with the design. If you've played Fallout New Vegas, this is where you reload your guns, or not reload your guns, but you press new ammunition and you can reload your guns with the new ammunition. And I think I pulled it off perfectly. It really looks like one from Fallout New Vegas. Here we have some clumsy vault dwellers trying to handle the guns. And I mean, they grew up in a vault, so they don't really know anything about guns. He dropped a gun and now it went off and shot into the roof. You can tell that the guy next to him is not that pleased. I like to add fun comedy bits like this, and this one's fun. We have fusion cells here on the shelf, full of ammunition for the laser weapons. And next to that we have Bob's little fun workshop, where he actually builds weapon mods, builds new weapons, builds homemade landmines, all of that. Everything you can build in Fallout, he builds in this workshop right here. This is another fun small room with a lot of detail, so we can have fun with the workbench, we can have fun with the tool set on the wall, and lots of fun details. It looks like he's gonna reconstruct this teddy bear into a landmine of some sort, because you can do that in Fallout, and it's just an amazing fun thing. He's working on some kind of slingshot weapon here. And this guy, he's creative. He'll figure it out. We have this cool power drill. I don't really know what to call it, but I got the design again from Instagram, and I really like this design. I can't take credit for it. Here we have the power armor room, and this is where they do some work on the power armors. And these power armors, my own design, I'm very happy with the results of these ones. This is version 4, I think. I've been building a lot of power armors, trying to figure out what's the best design, and we ended on this design. The helmet is from Firestar Toys. It's 3D printed, and it's a perfect combination to this power armor. Just really puts the whole thing together. I also decided to add some Brotherhood of Steel posters on the wall to add extra detail, and you can tell that these people, they might be interested in joining the Brotherhood, but they also have some thoughts about it, because the Brotherhood of Steel, they're kind of a militia, right? An army, and not everyone would want to join that. This is the power armor helmet that I was talking about. It looks absolutely flawless. I love this helmet, and it's perfect because it's the same dark gray as Lego, so it's just a perfect match. Once again, you can check out how I built the power armor on my YouTube shorts. I do have a lot of tutorials there where I've built stuff from this vault, so check that out. Actually, I'll link a playlist in the description, so you can check out all the tutorials for these builds. Moving on, we're at the bottom 3 floors now, and here we have the hospital, or the med bay. This guy is infected with some kind of radiation poisoning, and I think they're gonna have to amputate his arm. He looks kinda bad. Maybe he's gonna turn into a ghoul. This is the one room that's sticking out. It's not really looking like anything from the Fallout games or Fallout Shelter. I went with my own design here. I mean, the blue is the thing that's sticking with the Fallout design, and maybe the skeleton, a few details, but I wanted to build my own version of a med bay and just have fun with it. I think it ended up looking good. However, it's not faithful to the games. Let me know what you think. This is one of the few rooms where I actually have some pre-installed lights that I was thinking of when I was building it. So we have a ceiling light, and we actually have a light on the table, operating table here. And these lights are put through small holes into the back of the build, and yeah, there was a lot of work. Probably should have had some foresight into the rest of the build and build some lights into it, but what's done is done. We have some nuclear waste here in the shelves and some paintings. I'm a sticker kind of guy, so I like Lego stickers. However, I don't like them after a few years, and that's probably why people don't like stickers. Because they usually deteriorate and they peel off, which is bad. So prints are always better. Like this heart monitor right here. It's a third-party print, but it's really solid, and I like it. This guy in the wheelchair, he came from the science lab, and it looks like his arm is mutated. Guess they're gonna have to chop that off as well. We have next to this med bay a bathroom. This is the second bathroom. We had a bathroom in the shower and the locker room, but here we have a bathroom which is well, it's not that clean. This guy did a poor job cleaning it up, and he took a break in the middle of it. Next to the bathroom we have the science lab, where the guy in the wheelchair was rushing from, because they had a bit of a radiation accident. They're studying the ghouls from the wasteland, they're doing some animal experimentation, and they're just doing science stuff. I'm not a scientist myself, so I don't really understand it. But researching what you don't understand is a very good thing, so doing some experiments on the ghouls, yeah, they might figure out why they turned into ghouls. Ghouls, if you're not familiar with ghouls, it's basically Fallout's version of zombies. I love this hazmat suit. Unfortunately, it's a CMF, a collectible minifigure series, and it's very, very old and costs about $40, so it's very hard to get a hold of. I would like some more in this room. For these animal testing tanks, it's very simple. It's just a windshield and some curved slopes on the top. And then I put a small blue LED inside of it, which was a hassle, but it ended up looking really cool because it looks like they are having heat lamps trying to keep the animals alive while doing experiments on them. And this is the aforementioned, well, radiation leak. They accidentally dropped a can or a jar of radiation stuff. And in the basement we have a glowing one, which is a radiated ghoul that's glowing from radiation. That's why he's green and glowing from the head. It's very simple, I just put a green LED in its head, which looks really cool. And with the radiation spillage and waste on the ground, I mean, this scene is one of my favorites. And the kids poking it with a stick. Just classic fun Fallout stuff. Next to that, we have the power room. The most important room in the entire vault. And the one that's gonna fail because of the name, Vault 404. They're gonna have an error here. I just put a blue light behind it, so it actually looks like it's glowing from electricity, which was a really nice touch. This room is very inspired from Fallout Shelter. It does look like it, but not really, not entirely. I've put my own spin to all of the rooms, but this one is one of the cleanest rooms. It's only using dark gray and light gray and some colors from the minifigures that makes them pop from the gray background. Also found some cool panels, sticker panels, which work perfect for this, some meters and stuff like that. Next to the power room, we have the water room. Almost as important as the power room, but this room wouldn't work without the power room, so I'd say the power room is the most important one. And this is the water filtration station, where they clean the water for the entire vault. They have their tanks, they have their process. I don't know how this works either, but it looks cool and it looks almost like the Fallout Shelter version. This room is very essential for the entire vault, because without it, they wouldn't have clean water. And I made this tank be able to spin, which I think is a fun little detail. I should probably motorize it someday, that would be really cool, so it spins on its own, but a lot of work. Next to this we have the tunnel snakes running from a death claw that's been nesting down in the abandoned section of the vault where there's actually a water leak. There's a lot going on here, even though it doesn't seem like it. Because we have the water leak, we have the tunnel snakes running from the Deathclaw. The Deathclaw, I don't know, what do you think? I'm happy with the Deathclaw design. However, there are probably some really good ways to change this and make the Deathclaw stand out in another way and build it a different way. I don't know. Let me know if you have a better suggestion on how to build it. I found this panel from Lego Minions and it works perfect. The Grooze layer with the print, I really like it. Next to this horrible forgotten section, we have a storage room where raiders are actually breaking in and stealing their supplies. Not the bravest raiders, they are doing what they can to find some supplies, and I guess that the raiders from the top surface don't know that these raiders are in there. I feel like raiders are not that coordinated when it comes to heists and stuff like that. I love this face for this minifig, and that he's so scared out of his mind just seeing a rat running past. It's a quite simple room with the light grey and the dark red stripe in the back, and we have some boxes, but no print really. Just simple, efficient. It looks like a storage room. That was the last room. That was all of our rooms for Vault 404. There are a lot of rooms, and we've taken a look at all of them, with the lights in. Even though these are temporary lights, we're gonna take a look at it when it's dark. It looks really cool, but as you can see, the right side of the vault is the one most lit up right now, and it looks really cool. I wanna put lights inside every room so we can have this cool of a look in the entire vault, because turning off the lights and having this be the only light source, it looks so beautiful. However, you can see that some rooms are still dark, and I'm gonna have to work that out. So if you want me to torture myself even further, let me know and I will install lights on the left side and add some more stuff to the bunker and do one final video on the bunker. Like and subscribe for more. What happens when the bombs drop on Lego City? And how will people survive? Well, today we're building a nuclear bunker in Lego, which is a safe place underground where they can live somewhat normal lives and be happy. Kinda. Safe from all the dangers above ground when the radiation rules the world. So let's start building. And if you think we're moving too fast, well, that's because I've already built this in another video. Check it out, link in the description. But here's what we got so far. So moving on beyond these rooms, let's start by looking at one of your comments, and I love this idea, a separate sleeping area for the rich people of the bunker, because even in the bunker, they would still have spent their money on something, because... And taking inspiration from Fallout, the video game series, well, this is not how the rooms usually look. So we're gonna build a new version, which is separate rooms for the rich people in this bunker. And that's when I got the idea we're gonna do rich people versus poor people in this bunker, and it's gonna be a huge difference. But starting off, we're building the living area for the rich people. Let's add a door that closes off this section from the other sleeping areas because, well, these guys want their privacy. Let's also add a sign that says private property, no trespassing. Let's put that door in there, and nice. Well, now for some actual details in this room. We need a floor, of course, and adding some of these plates we can actually put some furniture on there without having them slide around. So let's add a bed, a personal chest where you can put your stuff, this TV bench, a small little coffee table, and this armchair that looks very comfortable. This guy is living in this room and he looks like he's enjoying it. Let's give him this highly preserved packaged dinner. Now let me take a quick second and talk about extra bricks, which was very nice to send me a lot of these printed custom stuff, which I'm using in this bunker build. A lot of cool posters that fit really well in the Fallout and Apocalypse theme, which I really like. So yeah, check them out, link in the description. Let's add that cool custom TV screen to an actual TV build. Let's give him some mentats, which are pills that makes you smarter. And a bedside cabinet for his clothes, a lamp, a coffee mug, and his favorite rocket toy. Now these posters fit perfect on the back wall here. This guy's kinda nerdy. I can relate to him. As for his neighbor, I want to build a similar room but different colors and different furniture. So I'm thinking we can go sand green on this room, then let's build up that support wall, the doorway, and of course the same looking floor. The difference is that in this room we have a living legend, a musician that records in the radio station from time to time, so we need her to get a room that really looks like it belongs to a musician. Of course, a motivational kitty poster on the wall, then let's give her a bed, a bedside table, and her platinum records. And I do believe she needs a grand piano. Maybe her neighbor is secretly in love with her because she plays the piano all night so beautifully. Who knows? But there we go, we're done with the first 2 rooms of our bunker. And we can add these 2 rooms to our whole bunker build, but we're gonna save that for later. I really like that the whole room came together even with their outfits. I mean, they match their own rooms. Which is a cool little detail, I think. I'm happy with this start, let's move on. Next up is a very suggested room that fits perfectly with the rich people living quarters. A pool. And that's like I love this idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, and a lot of you have suggested it. It's a great idea. I even built a hole in the floor so we actually get the depth of the pool. Now we just have to fill it with something that resembles water. But water in Lego is kind of difficult, because this guy can't swim here. Adding blue plates doesn't work either, so I tried building some bricks and stacking them on top of each other. However, I want to use the fact that we have this depth to the pool, and I want to see the bottom floor. It is great for sticking characters to it with a snot brick. I want to use another technique. I also tried the technique of just adding bricks to the bottom of it, and yeah, it doesn't work that great. I finally came up with this solution. You can see through the water and it kind of looks like water. So let's move on to building the actual pool room. This will be an area that's a bit more exclusive and even hidden from the common folk. I decided to go with white masonry bricks to really get that white, kind of like swimming pool area vibe. And of course another restricted area sign because everyone's not allowed. Now I want to build some metal lockers, and I've built these a lot of times and I just love this design. It turns out so good and you can build a lot of them very easily. Maybe I should do instructions on these and kind of like upload on a website. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's also add some rich people hanging out here. This guy's getting changed and this guy, he's gonna jump. Now let's also add a treadmill because these guys, they need to work out. They probably not gonna work out, but they need to. It's just nice to have the option, you know? Let's add that to the side here. Now for some more people hanging out in the area here. These guys are just talking. This guy with a cowboy hat looks like a big shot. Adding a plant, a table with a few towels on them, and a radio. Now we have to add the pool back in, because it was just really hard building while the pool was underneath, because this is very uneven. Here's something I use. Maybe it's cheating, but I use sticky tack a lot in these builds, because you can connect stuff very easily and it doesn't fall out.
Hope this interaction doesn't lead to any kind of fallout between us. Fallout New Vegas.
Like this character, having a glass of wine in the pool. And we're done with the swimming pool. I think it turned out really cool, very different from the other rooms in this bunker build. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. There's a lot going on here, which is always fun. However, only the rich people are allowed here. And we're gonna get to the poor people, how their living situation is, but first, let's build something else. Now, I've built a kitchen for the regular people in this bunker, but I want to build a special kitchen that's like for the elite, for the top 1%, the guys who have a lot of money. So they have their personal chef cooking up a meal for them while they're just enjoying the dinner and playing poker. Let's add that floor with a lot of jumper tiles so we can add some furniture and the figures to them so they don't slide off. Now for this custom cabinet I built, I'm very happy with it. It's got that 40s look. Then let's add some posters. Of course we need a stove for the chef and a refrigerator. We also have one of these ready-to-eat TV dinners up here. And the man of the hour. Well, not really, it's the chef. He gets to slave away and do a lot of cooking. A whole turkey by the looks of it. Here we have the dinner guests enjoying a round of poker. Or are they really enjoying it? Because it looks like this guy is getting ready to attack someone. Let's dive into that story and see what's going on in the kitchen. Well, they're obviously playing poker and keeping score. And I think this guy won the whole thing. And they're a bit nervous because they didn't realize that they would lose all of their money in one poker game. This guy is even getting ready to stab him with a fork. Yikes. That's one tense poker game. Other than that, we have a lot of fun details here, and it was fun to build a kitchen / living room. Next up is, of course, another very requested room. A movie theater. Why didn't I build this earlier? Well, I don't know, but I love the idea as well. I mean, I gotta build a movie theater. How else would you entertain yourself locked in a bunker all day? And here we're going for that dark red and the black. That, well, I see that in movie theaters in Sweden. I don't know about the rest of the world, but this is usually how a movie theater would look here. And since that's my main reference, that's what I'm doing. Who even goes to the cinema anymore? I really miss that. It looks like these guys aren't missing it, however. They seem kind of bored, or maybe offended. Let's add some details, this cool Nuka-Cola poster from Fallout, and of course some custom movie posters. Now for the stage, because this is not only a movie theater, it's also a regular theater, where people have talent shows and whatever. They're watching John Brick Chapter 4. It's supposed to be a billboard, but works perfect as a movie screen. Finishing up with a few more details, and let's take a look at the whole thing. This movie theater looks really comfortable and really cozy. It doesn't look like it belongs in a bunker at all, which was kind of what I was going for. But these guys don't seem to be that happy. They have a magician on stage, but I don't know why he's performing during the movie. Maybe that's why. Yeah, they have a weird intermission here. These guys are not happy at all, even though they've got popcorn. I mean, this woman even fell asleep. I think this guy who arranged the whole thing kind of regrets his decision now. This was a fun room to build. Next up is another requested room that I should have built a long time ago. Any guesses? Well, it's a very necessary room where you learn a lot of stuff. You can hang out and you can, you can read. Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. It's a library. We're building a library. And it's an obvious room to have in a bunker, because you need to study for school, you need to learn stuff, and of course, you gotta stay entertained. Or scared, like this guy. This kid is sneaking out his favorite comic book. I don't know what he's gonna do, maybe trade it for something else, or he's just gonna read it in his free time. Here's a TV, and that doesn't belong in a library, but this woman was smart enough to just sit and relax and watch some TV. This guy is studying for his final GOAT exam, which is not fun. In the library, we can have a cool robot that assists us with finding books, and this is a Mr. Handy. He's from the Fallout universe, and I just love the design of this. I've made it myself. He just roams around in the library, helping out, finding books with his witty British accent, just hanging out.
Hey, we don't serve your type in here.
Let's add him to the build as well. Now this really looks like a library if I've ever seen one. I feel really bad for this kid studying so much. He's got a lot of paperwork. While this woman is just hanging out watching some TV. That's what I want to do. We got the Mr. Handy handing out books and this guy reading a very scary short story. And of course the kid kind of stealing a comic book. I'm happy with the library, I hope you are too. Now for the complete opposite, the bottom of the bottom. People who couldn't handle the apocalypse, living underground, or just had it rough. Maybe they stole, maybe they killed someone. Well yeah, these people got rejected from living in the regular bunker, so they were forced to move into an unfinished section of the bunker. Here they live without their blue vault suits, trying to rebuild some kind of home, but mainly turning to addictions like chems and alcohol, which is very sad. And this is a fun but tough part to build because we need to make it look unfinished, like they started to build the bunker, kind of like painting the walls, digging out the tunnels, but they never finished it. So that's the difficult part here. Exposing a lot of masonry bricks, adding some graffiti and some vines, I think that will do the trick, but then we also have to transition into the actual mountain that the whole thing is, well, built in. These brown vines work perfectly together with some wooden planks, some construction signs, and of course a door, because this once again is a restricted area, but for different reasons. Building the mountain part, we have to do a lot of rock work here, working with slopes and dark gray. I haven't built that many mountains, but it's actually kind of fun. A bit tedious because there's a lot to do. Now let's add a typical thing, a fire barrel, and two people hanging out trying to warm themselves with dirty clothes and a sad look on life and on their faces. Here's the blueprint of what could have been, and a dead foreman that was planning the whole thing. Now this woman is mining for some extra rock, this guy is carrying stuff in his wheelbarrow to the next place where they're rebuilding. We have a lot of stuff from the past here, which they can use for their purpose of rebuilding a new part of the bunker. Now it's been abandoned with tools, machines, and an echo of people working and what could have been. These guys are rebuilding in a way. It's kind of beautiful, but it's also sad because, yeah, they have it rough. If this isn't the complete opposite of the rich people, I don't know what is. Literally living in a cave mining for stuff to build a new home. Well, that's the opposite of having a pool in a movie theater. But that was just one room. Let's build a big cave where we can actually have a few houses that they've built and the people going insane. The people living there for a reason. Now we need to grab a lot of slopes because we're gonna build a lot of rock work in this hollowed out cave. We also need a huge amount of dark gray bricks because this is gonna be a big room. It's gonna be a bigger cave than anything we've built today. Let's grab a few rock pieces and of course some snot bricks so we can build on the side. Now you may say, why don't I use one of these? A burp, a big ugly rock piece. Well, that's because they're ugly. I want to build my own. Starting off the base, I want to have this cave actually having some radiation spillage. So I built that like a water puddle, but with the radiation. Then I started working on the actual cave and the rock work. There's a lot of stuff you have to think about here. You have to make it look dynamic, but also not too dynamic, because you need to think about what you want to add inside the cave. It's a lot of fun, but a lot of stuff you have to think about. And as you notice, this cave is actually going to be 2 stories high. Compared to all the other rooms, we're actually just 1 story high. This is going to give this cave a bit more breathing room, and we can get the feeling of that this is actually a cave, not a part of the bunker. Let's add a collapsed bridge that used to be here when they were working on this part of the bunker. Well, it's abandoned now and it's falling apart. With the material from the construction site, they've actually managed to build some of their own houses. Very small and very shack-looking weird houses. They make it work. Let's add a campfire and some chairs around it. mattress, another mattress, and a few rats, of course. Let's add some addicts hanging out down here, just using chems. And this crazy woman actually kidnapped a regular person from the bunker above. And this security guard is investigating the whole thing, but beginning to think that this was a bad idea. Here they're actually cooking up their own drugs. That's not good. Let's add this nest-looking part of the cave on top, and we're gonna take a look at that in a second. I really like the contrast here of the dark gray with the bright colors. It gives a really nice look. Here is the nest. This is a mutated ant with its children getting ready to attack. Over here we have a security guard trying to save and investigate the missing person who's been kidnapped. And yeah, she has all right to be scared because these guys look nasty. I mean, look at this guy. I would never take medicine from this man, even though he's wearing a lab coat. It looks like these drugs are kind of dangerous, and these guys maybe deserve to be down in this cave. Let's grab some pins and connect the whole thing so we can see what we've got so far. The plan is to, of course, connect the whole thing together, but for now we haven't got all rooms yet, so we have to stick with this. And it's looking really cool. I'm happy with all of the rooms. However, this is not the finished product. But before we get into that, let's look at the rooms. We've got all of the rooms that you guys requested and rooms that I've been thinking about for a while. We've got the pool, we've got the library, the big cave area. We've got the rich versus poor situation, which is very interesting to take a look at. Now in the next video we're gonna add it to this part of the bunker, which is gonna expand it so much. We're gonna take a look at what kind of experiments goes on here. This is Vault 404, an apocalypse fallout bunker underground, and today we're building secret creepy experiments down here. It's gonna get freaky. So watch out, we have a lot of mysteries to uncover. And that's a problem I didn't account for. First of all, this is what we've got, and in the end we're going to have a total of 40 rooms and put everything together, so stick around. Let's start off with a highly requested room, a proper nuclear reactor that generates the power for the entire vault. We have a power room, but that doesn't quite cover the entire vault. So let's build a bigger one. I'm going for a base of light gray and adding this yellow stripe through it. I think that looks really nice. And it looks a bit industrial. Now to the wall I add different kinds of details like vents, tubes and cords, and then some interesting buttons and signs because you need to have a lot of control of the actual power in here. Speaking of power, let's build the nuclear reactors, which are emitting electricity and actually creating that power for the entire bunker. Let's start tiling the floor so we can have a smooth finish to the floor and a nice surface. And here I'm going for dark gray. Now I want to add a cool little detail here. We want to have some radiation spillage, which is not that good for the people living here, but I think it's a cool detail. So I added some yellow barrels and a lime green splash of radiation. Now we need someone that works here, and this is a non-safe area, so they need a hazmat suit. This guy lost his hazmat suit and is now turning green, probably because of all the radiation, and this guy went too close to the reactor, so he's getting a shock. I don't know how, because I did put up a high voltage danger sign. Oh well, suit yourself. Our first room of the day is finished, and this is the nuclear reactor, which the vault gets its entire power supply from. And this is a workplace full of dangers and dangerous environments. I wouldn't want to work here myself. Between the electrocution and the radiation spillage, this doesn't seem like a safe place. But I do love how it turned out. I love the contrast of the yellow on the dark gray and also the touch of lime green in there. And these glowing ghost heads are perfect for slimy nuclear zombies. This guy looks kinda nervous, and I would be too. I understand. If your teammates and colleagues are turning green, I'd run. I added this cool little control panel by taking out the stick from levers and putting them between grills. Then we have this radiation warning sign, which I really like. And of course, a lunch break snack. Next to this power plant, we should also add a control room. where the workers can overlook the systems and monitor the whole thing. Let's of course start with the base and build a wall with a spot for some control panels. Let's add some windows looking into the nuclear reactor so the supervisor can actually see what's going on in there. Now a door with a danger sign, because this is a dangerous place. Let's slide that in, and let's also slide in a few control panels. A nice electrical sign as well. And some more wires and controls, because this is the entire vault's control system. Now for some levers and valves. A few snacks in the window of course, and a monitor, an intercom system, and some wiring. Now this is a job for a very smart and attentive person. So let's put Homer Simpson on the job. I gave him a massive donut and a Spider-Man comic book. What can possibly go wrong? Let's assign Homer to his job, which fits him perfectly. Let's just hope nothing goes wrong.
Power's out. Your father must be sleeping on his side again.
I think Homer is a beautiful addition to the nuclear supervisor room, because that's actually his job in the show. Reading a Spider-Man comic book and eating a huge donut, it's just spot on. I'm really happy with all the details here. We have a lot of buttons and dials and cords and wires. Another surprisingly highly requested room is a shooting range, so of course we need to build one. Here we can have the people of the bunker train for when they're going to retake the surface from all the different scary creatures out there, like zombies, mutants, and just dangerous creatures. Or just have fun. So let's start out with 2 plates and build a base. We need a wall as usual. We need an entrance to the room. And I'm thinking we're going for the blue color here, adding some weapons to the wall. And the American flag, it's guns after all. Let's start working on some kind of floor, and I want this grid built into it. Now tiling my way over to the other plate, I felt like I wanted to build something different on the other side of the room. So I'm actually going to carve out a mountain here. I want this to be like, they didn't actually finish this part, so they left it using it as a gun range. Let's add some boxes of ammunition, because if you're gonna shoot, you're gonna need ammo. Now adding this brick wall to the whole thing where they're actually shooting at, and some targets and a dummy. The shooting range is starting to take shape here. I've never been to a gun range, but I've seen plenty in movies and games, and they always have these booths where you have a button where you can push the whole thing forward and you can shoot. And you got some earphones to protect your ears. Now in this shooting range I want to build a weapons workbench, and this is ripped straight from Fallout 4. I did my version in Lego. I think it turned out really good, very close to the source material. Here you can modify your gun, add a scope, add a silencer, maybe modify the barrel. Yeah, I play a lot of video games, alright? A happy security guard filling out some forms, and here we have a rad roach, or whatever this is. Believe it or not, this is actual Lego. It's Bionicle of some kind from way back. There we have it, guys. A beautiful shooting range, and I'm very happy with it. I feel like I say that about all the rooms, but I'm genuinely happy with this one. We have 2 booths for shooting. We have a gun wall with 2 guns for now, but you could add more later. The workbench, we have a scoring system here. And of course the target dummy where they're shooting at. I added the stormtrooper as well shooting here, doing a little bit of target practicing. He's not that good at aiming though. Here is a phenomenal idea for a room, a museum or a memorabilia room, where all the normal things from the old world are stashed, like keeping old TVs, a football, telephone, everything like that. So let's build a museum. And here I started with the sand green base for the wall and adding black floors, because I want to make this look classic. They spent a little bit too much money on making this room look beautiful, while the rest of the bunker suffers. Let's add that aforementioned football and a glass monitor, of course. And then another glass case with some more stuff from the old days, like a TV, a telephone, a pony, and some money, because why not? A cello, a violin, some famous paintings, I would guess. I haven't seen these in real life. Some very important schematics and blueprints of things, and of course historical and beautiful literature, books. Now one of the most iconic things that should be saved is, of course, Indiana Jones's hat and whip and a lawnmower. Now, since this is such a secure room, we should definitely build a secure door. So let's build a vault door, like an actual bank vault door. Yeah, that's safe enough with a security camera watching over people wanting to enter. Now let's add a computer for opening the door and a security guard. And I'm thinking lasers so nobody steals the history of humankind. There's a lot of history in here. So floor laser seems about right. How unfortunate that the security guard was turned the other way when the thief is rolling down from the ceiling. Well, this turned out to be a Mission Impossible heist, which I just love. Probably one of the more goofy silly rooms, but it really turned out good. I love the details, I love everything about it. And especially the thief from the ceiling. The floor lasers turned out looking really cool, the orange glow from them. I bet the thief is after this book. Soon we're also taking a look at the experiments in the bunker. But first, with all kinds of stuff going on in this bunker, one can only wonder what the boss, the overseer, is doing about all this. Well, he's busy with something completely else, and by the looks of it, it's quite suspicious. What's he hiding in there? Looks like he's hiding a secret room. And this is a room that hasn't been maintained for a long time, so the walls are just caving in. We have exposed brick in the wall, a lot of grey and brown, and a lot of propaganda. Since this is a hidden room, I want to build a hidden door mechanism. I want this wall to be able to slide and open through a lever or some sort of, I don't know, technic solution. I'm not the best at the technic stuff, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Grab a bunch of cogwheels and pins and stuff like that. I barely know these parts. Looking at some tutorials trying to figure out how to do this, I came up with this solution. This moves the cogwheels and should open the door in theory. Let's try it out. Okay, so that didn't work, and that's because all of the gears are moving in different directions, which I probably have a solution for. If I put the cogwheels and like lower them and elevate them with smaller ones, I think that could work. Let's see what we can come up with. This should work. But somehow, when I turn it, none of them spins. What's that about? This is really grinding my gears. I really don't like Technic, and I don't understand it. Turns out this was childlike easy. Just put a Technic axle on a gear, spin it, add these things on top of it, and it should work. I actually didn't Google it, I found it out by actually being a bit patient and taking a day off, getting back to building. And there we go. Finally, we have a solution. That was way more complicated than it should have. And that's probably just because of me. Let's keep moving, let's keep building. With the door finally in place, we can start laying the new floor. Or the old floor, because this place is very secret and no one's doing maintenance on it, as I mentioned, so kind of an ugly floor. Let's add his computer where he seems to have a control panel and is... What's he doing in here? There's a bunch of letters and important documents. And oh, alright. So this guy's being... Well, I guess you can figure out what's going on here with this surgical manual. Yeah. Hopefully this won't get me demonetized. No, it's only Lego, it should be fine. But this is actually looking quite scary. Is he spying on the people living here? Or is he trying to prevent people from spying? And why does he have a pair of scissors in his hands? People are starting to notice that the Overseer isn't there, which makes sense. And has it always been like this? How was the old Overseer? Let's take a look at that. Now I actually want to build the Overseer's office from before this new Overseer took over, which in itself sounds kind of sketchy. Did this guy do something to the old overseer? Does he actually work for the vault? What's going on here? Let's add an office chair, the old overseer's desk, and the old overseer. Which, yeah, he's a skeleton. It's been a while. But what happened? How did he die? From poisoning. Okay, so yeah. This place is getting darker by the minute. I wonder if the old overseer got poisoned by the new one. The future wasn't bright. With all the violence and all the horrible things going on here, we need a break. A break room, to be specific. Here people can grab a cup of coffee, just chill out after a long day. So let's start building the walls and add a nice vibe to this room. I'm thinking the classic blue again, combined with a yellow and a white floor for a change. Because this is supposed to be kind of a kitchen area, combined with a break room. Let's add a custom-made refrigerator looking like a 50s refrigerator. And this kitchen bench with all the utensils you need for a nice break. And a coffee maker, of course. I'm really happy with the design of that one. As you suggested, we should definitely add an arcade machine as well. Here people can sit and relax, enjoy a nice break, hang out with their kids, eat a cookie, read a newspaper, or just chill out in this nice red couch. Have a Nuka-Cola and relax. These people, however, seem a bit tense. Let's find out what's going on. They're celebrating something and having some nice cake. Let's add a table of cake. But this woman seems upset. How can you be upset about cake if you aren't lactose intolerant? That's the big question. There has to be something else. And oh, there we have the problem. These guys are from the surface and they're trying to take the cake for themselves. What a horrible deed. I do get it though, because who doesn't want cake? And they are celebrating a whole year without an incident in the bunker. I guess that's about to change, because these guys don't mess around and they look quite hungry. This woman right here is taking matters into her own hands and actually going for the knife. Can she defend the cake? Is it worth it? I mean, I wouldn't fight a bunch of raiders for cake. I'm happy with a lot of details in this build, especially the coffee maker, I think. I love the touch of the arcade machine and overall a very nice room. This was supposed to be a nice, relaxing break room, but it ended up being a bit more stressful than that. Turning our eyes to the surface, we have some extending to do. This is what we've got as of now. But we're actually making the whole build wider, and it's kind of empty, so we have to add some new stuff. Looking at what we've got, we have this vault entrance here, then we have the first room, we have the lone wanderer with his dog, we have some raiders trying to break into the bunker, so let's add an actual raider camp and rebuild this into, well, a more solid raider camp where they can actually hang out and stay for a bit longer. So I'm adding this wall with heads on spikes, some road signs and some different debris put up as an actual wall. Then let's add this destroyed house next to it, and it's Privet Drive from Harry Potter. And here we go. Let's take a look at this side of the build so far. The raider camp is extended. We have a few more raiders and a workbench. We also have this outpost looking thing where this guy with a power armor is standing and guarding the whole camp. He has a huge minigun and looks kinda mean. Over here we have an abandoned little play area next to this house, and these two guys are actually sneaking up on the raiders trying to attack them. But there are only two of them. I don't think that's gonna be enough. However, if they catch them by surprise... No, I still don't think they can do enough. These guys look very dangerous. With all the heads on spikes and their weird looking armors, and not to mention they're eating people. I added this Harry Potter car into the house, crashed because I thought that was a fun detail. Now working on the next part, here's a red rocket, which is a gas station kind of thing in the Fallout universe. So we're gonna add that to the left side of the build, extending the street and having some more details. Now, I couldn't look at both of these builds at the same time because it's actually too wide for my table, so we have to review these in sections. Here's the second part. And we have the school bus, we have the Lone Wanderer, this cool Nuka-Cola machine from 5 Star Toys, and then my red rocket that I've designed myself with this billboard on top. Now we're getting really into Fallout, but this is a power armor station where you can fix up your power armor, which is a suit of, well, basically walking tank. I'm gonna go very nerdy for a minute here, but that's because this bunker project is very inspired by the video game series Fallout, which is one of my favorite video games. And in the Fallout universe, there's always an experiment going on in these bunkers, or vaults as they're called in the games. And I was thinking that the experiment in this vault would be the power outage, because I called it 404. So there's an issue about finding it on a map, but also electrical, like the power goes out. But I think it would be really fun to actually build some experiments inside the vault, like scientific projects, like weird, creepy stuff. So it's about time we tackle that. This is yet another secret room that the rest of the vault doesn't know about. I want to build a very scary looking laboratory with some weird stuff going on. Experimenting on humans, trying to make new creatures, trying to make a superhuman. This is getting creepy. So let's add some panels, wires, tubes and monitors. Start laying the floor, and I'm going for a light gray here because we want this to be a clean environment but also kind of hidden. So we need that industrial look, like it's not part of the rest of the bunker, but it looks kind of secret. This is already looking really spooky actually, but also nice. I love the color touches and combinations. Let's add a microscope where they can study the biological cells. We need a couple of scientists looking at different monitors and just doing weird experiments on the people of the bunker. Let's add a Bunsen burner where this guy is mixing some chemicals, maybe trying to figure out some kind of virus. This man does not look healthy. He's all blue. Let's attach him to the wall with some sticky tack, so it looks like he's actually floating in this tank. Let's add a hose as well. And I built this glass container with this super weird looking experiment. Here we have a chair and a lamp. Let's add a guy getting surgery. This guy has an extra arm and it's green. I wonder if it's radiation or if it's actually this doctor's experiment, because he's not happy about this and it looks like this is going wrong. And here we just have a brain on table and the brain has feet. That's disturbing. I grabbed my weirdest and creepiest Lego parts for this part of the build, and I think we got some weird looking stuff. Here the scientists can experiment in secret in their own lab and nobody knows what's going on. People mysteriously just disappear from this bunker and they end up here, turned into weird experiments. And what's the point? Are they trying to make a superhuman or are they trying to just have fun? Either way, it's not a nice thing to do. These people deserve better. I think this isn't enough. Let's do some more experiments in this other room here. And here we have the head scientist, also known as Father. This guy, well, he has grand plans and weird intentions. He's essentially trying to build a new human, which isn't right. He's building one from scratch, like a robot. So he's building a synthetic human, a synth. Let's add some more details to this room and this Institute logo, which was perfect. If you've played Fallout 4, the Institute logo looks almost exactly like that. Now let's add Father sitting at his desk with his monitor doing some research. Now it's a small room, but it turned out good. I like that he got his own office, just sitting there scheming, planning on how to build the perfect human, which is in itself a bit weird and immoral, but It's a cool little detail, and an Easter egg kind of. When the scientists are done with their test subjects, they pull them into the next room and get rid of them. We're going to build a cremation room for all the failed experiments. This is dark and getting really dark quick. Here the scientists can burn the dead and move on to the next experiment. So yeah, we're basically building a body burning room, cremation. I don't know, you guys are coming up with a lot of these ideas, I'm just gonna say that. It's not only my ideas here, so don't put the blame entirely on me that this is turning very dark. We want to make this quite a dirty room with a lot of like old tiles on the floor and some ash on the wall, and a pile of burning corpses. Yeah. Next theme will probably be a bit of a lighter theme. Maybe we'll do a princess theme next time. Let's add an oven for body burning, which we actually add a light brick inside, and the fire lights up. That looks really nice. Looks like a cozy firewood oven where you would just... Yeah, right, we're burning bodies. I forgot about that part. Let me know in the comments, is this getting too dark? I mean, not literally, but this is turning into quite the horror story. Here we also have a part of the morgue, where they store the dead bodies. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't know that Lego could get this dark. But here we are. The fire burning and the corpses waiting to be burned. And this guy just cleaning up blood from the floor. Yeah. And here we have this guy with his eyes cut out. Alright, yeah, we're done with the cremation room, and let's take a quick look at it. We have the burning pile of ash with the corpse there. We have the body burning oven. And this woman with a hazmat suit carrying a skeleton. This guy cleaning up. And that's about it. I feel like I don't want to talk about this room anymore, and I just want to move on. Alright, in the caves of the bunker, we have a part that isn't finished, that I built last time. And here we have a cave with a radioactive goo on the ground. So we're actually gonna extend that and build another tiny room with a bit of a more like pool of radiation spillage. So we're doing a cave wall here, adding some stone, some rock work around it, so we get the feeling of that this is actually a part of a cave and not the bunker vault. Let's build a small little bridge so you can cross the whole gooey thing, add some barrels of radioactive goop, and some glowing zombies, because, yeah, that's the theme of this video. Let's click those together and we have a bit of a bigger area of radioactive, what should we call it? A radioactive pool. Let's just hope these kids doesn't fall into the pool. So here we have the lower part of the bunker, and we're gonna attach this to the rest of the bunker soon. But we have a few rooms left. On the side of the whole build, I wanted to add this massive hole. Basically a hole in the ground where people from the surface can fall down. And this is not part of the bunker. This is just a hollowed out mountain part, which is gonna be a layer for a scary creature. So I think this can be a fun detail to add on the side and a good way to break off the whole structure of the building. Here we have it. By the looks of it, not a very interesting build, it's just a hollowed out mountain part, but the story it tells and the purpose it serves, I like it. I got this really scary head from a Bionicle, which turned out to be a perfect monster. Now for another build I want to add, here we have the laundry room. And this, it looks really nice, don't get me wrong, but it's very small compared to the entire vault. So we need to extend the laundry room and build some kind of a wardrobe area where we have clothes for the people in the vault and also just laundry service. These guys are washing the clothes of the entire bunker. That's a lot of people. Since we've got around 50 rooms, well, I don't want to do the math, but it's a lot of people. And it turned out nice. It definitely matches with the first small room that I was talking about. And we have the aesthetic of a laundry room. It's a bit more messy than the other room. We have the washing machines, we have the drying racks, we have the clothesline, we have a sewing machine for patching up holes, and these guys are doing the Lord's work by cleaning the clothes of the people from the bunker. Okay, so small problem here. Well, actually quite big problem. It's too wide. I didn't plan on this because it's always been perfect for a certain table that I've had in my storage room. However, now I made it wider, so now we got 2.4 meters of table space we need to find. And that's a problem I didn't account for. So I'm gonna have to get creative. Bear with me. So over here we have a big mess of just all the different rooms. They're not put together right now because when I measured this, I can't actually fit it on my regular table. So we have to move into here and figure out how to display the whole bunker in a good way. So I'm actually putting cardboard on a table to make it a bit taller so we can fit everything. Now let's measure this up. We need it to be 2.4 meters. However, the table is not that sturdy, but that's a problem for future me. So let's see if we can build the bunker and actually put all of the rooms together and finally see how this massive project is coming together. With over 40 rooms, it's taken over a year and there's so much to go through. I'm excited to show you guys. Here we have it. 1 year later. We have around 50 rooms, so many details, so many people living here, and it's been such a fun journey. Now, before we go through the whole thing, can you spot this mysterious stranger inside the build? Let's see. We have a lot to look at, so let's get started. Surface never, vault forever. Let's take a look at it. At the surface we have the vault dweller wanting to enter the whole bunker or vault, you know, you can call it whatever you want. If we take the elevator down, we come to the basement floor, and on the left side of the build are mainly the new rooms. These are old rooms. We have the power room, we have the whole reconstruction room where the raiders are actually rebuilding their own little society in a cave down here, which we built in the last video. Then we have the cave with the radiated feral ghouls, or zombies if you will. We have the cryopods from Fallout 4. We have a room being melted down. Then we have this workshop. We have a power armor station. We have raiders breaking in here. We have the museum with the heist. There's a lot to go through. So if you want to see a whole video of me going through every single room, explaining all the details, mentioning the Easter eggs, and just showing you, well, just showing you all of the rooms with the details, let me know in the comments and I will definitely do that. I'd be happy to do one of those videos now that we're finally done with the entire thing. I'm also thinking about installing lights. Which I know I hate myself for it, but it's gonna look so cool if we added lights into every single room. But if you do the math, it's 50 rooms with at least one LED light in it. So there's a lot of lamps I have to get and a lot of installing I have to do. So I'm dreading the moment I have to do that, but let me know in the comments if you want that, because I'd be happy to do it, even though the light installing part isn't the most fun. It's been so much fun being on this journey, building this whole, basically a dream project of mine. But we're moving on to new projects this year, so subscribe so you don't miss out. There's a lot of fun stuff to build this year. See you around.